Oh, gamers. I returned from my movie goings. Let's finish up these Hangout events at least. I would like to get more than that done, but I don't know if I have the energy to get more than that done. But we're gonna at least try, right? We want to at least get the Hangout events out of the way. We can do that. We still gotta do all the endings on Hazo, and then do all the endings on Farazan. I think we're done. Until Layla comes out next update. LOL. LOL. We have 100 resin too. Wait till the following day, 8 a.m. They really do like waiting to the following day, don't they? Why no? Oh, I was gonna say, why no ticking? No ticking bomb. Struggling to eat Skittles, man. I don't think I've ever walked up here properly. Or just glide. It's like a violation of safety standards here. Todoroki.
Who are you?
Hello, Todoroki. I'm Shikanoin Heizo, Special Detective of the Tenryou Commission. I believe you've been manipulating large-scale illegal trades for some time now.
Ooh, got
Mind
him.
if we talk about that for a bit?
You can't just go around spewing such nonsense, young man.
He's like, fake
what
news.
if I'm not talking nonsense?
Ridiculous. I don't have time to listen to this. Get out of here, you little brat.
I know I'm on the younger side compared to you, Todoroki, so I'm sure you
Damn.
must have heard the
Got him.
old saying. Off the scale, some goods only weigh a couple pounds, but on the scale, they weigh more than 1,000. So the question is, do you want to put your goods on the scale or not?
What are you trying to say?
Well, nothing. All I want to hear is you personally confirming what we already know to be the truth.
Masashi! Tokuda! Arrest these people!
Huh? Todoroki, what's wrong?
Who dares to cause trouble at Sango no Miya Shrine? Huh? Wait, it's... Captain? What are you doing?
Tell them the truth.
These crooks are trying to pry into the secrets of Watatsumi. We mustn't let them go.
But, no. There must be some kind of misunderstanding. Todoroki, this is the captain of Swordfish 2, one of our own.
It doesn't matter who they are. Remember what General Goro told you? A long-term goal of Watatsumi is to revive its trade and commerce. And since you have been assigned to work with me, it's my orders that count around here. I don't care if they were your captain.
Power
Would
trip
you
much?
dare disobey orders?
What do we do?
Well, what are you waiting for? All right, I see how it is. If you two won't do it, I will.
You're gonna
I
arrest
really
us,
hoped
lol.
it wouldn't come to this,
Are we fighting?
but here we go.
Wait! Everyone,
Oh,
stand down!
General Goro! You're here.
My apologies, Traveler, Detective Heizo. I wasn't telling you the truth. Todoroki, the Traveler here is the hero who saved Watatsumi Island. Without her, Watatsumi Island would never have found the peace it has today. We mustn't raise our weapons against her.
How could you be so naive, General Goro? If we let them go free, then who's to say the Shogunate won't come after us tomorrow? If the Shogunate decides to investigate, we won't be able to hide the truth.
I wouldn't allow them to take you, Todoroki.
Let's not kid ourselves. If going to jail could solve the problem, I would go and turn myself into the Tenryou Commission right now. The question is, what are we going to do with the goods? Will you be able to keep them? Not to mention the chance of astronomical fines. Can you afford that? Goro, we both know that Watatsumi Island is a barren land. Plant 100 radishes here and maybe only 3 would grow. And those 3 combined would still be smaller than just 1 carrot imported from elsewhere. You can't grow food or medicinal herbs here, and if we buy them from Rito, we pay exorbitant taxes. My eldest son died fighting on the battlefield. But do you know how my second son died?
Oof.
He died because there was no medicine to treat him.
This guy's had
You
it
awarded
rough, huh?
both of them medals of honor. But did that save their lives? Can medals heal Tokuda and Masashi's wounds?
Yeah.
No. It was the medicine that I got that saved their lives. If we detain them today, the Shogunate will never know what we've done. Besides, they're only a few months away now. We will set them free once the new bill is passed in just a few months, and everything will be okay. None of what happened here will be mentioned again, and life on Watatsumi Island will continue to improve.
I understand, Todoroki, but they won't...
I can trust the Traveler won't, but the detective here is a Tenryo commission officer. Forget it. You're the general. I'm just a radish farmer.
Wait, what is the bill you just mentioned?
It's a new commodity tax bill currently being drafted by the Kanjo Commission. The bill exempts taxes on goods that are in short supply on Watatsumi Island. Once the bill's introduced, we'll be able to buy commodities that we need from regular marketplaces.
Oh, I see. Man alive. I wish I had known sooner. In that case, how about we put your fears at ease and I'll stick around here a little longer. You know, until the bill is introduced.
Huh?
Oh, Detective Hazel, are you saying that...
I'm gonna turn a blind eye.
You mean you're willing to stay here, young man?
Come on, you two. What's with the strange looks? You've been keeping me under close surveillance, haven't you? Surely you must have noticed that aside from being a detective, I'm also an ordinary tourist who likes to enjoy good scenery. I believe that after the new commodity bill is passed, there will be more and more traffic between the two sides, and more people will be coming to visit Watatsumi Island. I have to take the opportunity now and enjoy this place while I still have it all to myself. Before long, tourists will start pouring in.
Thank you, Detective Hazel. On behalf of the people of Watatsumi.
My pleasure. But one good turn deserves another, does it not?
Oh, you mean there's something you wish to request?
I suppose you could say I'm from the Shogunate, but the traveler next to me isn't. As far as I know, she is planning to visit other nations soon, and it is unclear if she will return to Narukami Island or not. Therefore, there's no need to limit her freedom, right? I'm sure no one else will hear of what happened today. Am I right, traveler?
Agree with a cool nod.
Well, it's settled then. She will always be an important partner to Watatsumi, and I would never dream of limiting her freedom. So please, don't worry, Detective Hazel.
I'll hold you to that. But if I ever find out you've lied to me again, there's a chance I'll lose my cool.
I'm sorry for not telling you the truth earlier. It's a serious matter, and I didn't want outside parties to become involved. But today, I realized my poor judgment. How could I possibly hide anything from Detective Hazel and the Traveler?
I'm glad you understand now. But, in all honesty, I'm the one who should be thanking you. It's because of you that I was finally able to reach an answer. After all, nothing makes a detective happier than putting a case to rest.
Ah, I understand now. You really are an interesting person, Detective Hazel.
No, I'm afraid you don't quite get what I mean.
I'm sorry?
Wait! Paimon gets this one! It's the answer to your question, right? The one about the thing you sensed coming from Goro and the others. Now you figured it out!
What? The thing you sensed coming from me? But I always have excellent personal hygiene.
No, not like that.
Hey, traveler. Could I talk to you for a moment? Besides, I haven't had a chance to thank you yet.
Alright. Now we're not gonna be able to take him to... We're not gonna be able to complete our commission.
Hey, there you are. Come here. Look, look. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Watatsumi Island.
Very pretty location.
It's remarkable how such a barren land can give life to such wonderful and stunning scenery. To be honest, I am grateful to you for this trip. Before you arrived, I was running around like a headless chicken. Even if I happened to find out what was going on here, I wouldn't have been able to uncover any concrete information without you present. I'm just sorry that I promised I'd accompany you back. It appears that I won't be able to do so for the time being. So please, cover for me in the meantime, okay?
Have you really decided to keep the whole thing a secret?
It's all in the past now. Let's just chalk it up as an intriguing experience I had on my trip here. Besides, that's not what I wanted to investigate anyway.
And now you have the answer you were searching for.
Yes. Everyone you led me to and everything they said brought me closer to the answer. And now I finally get it. Watatsumi Island is an ancient land where the soil is poor and many crops do not grow because it's lacking a certain thing. But what the inhabitants of this land do have is bravery. They were courageous enough to stand up and resist the gods and accomplish what they knew could not be done. This is yet another instance in which that certain thing shines. That missing element. That certain thing is what I sensed present in Goro, Todoroki, Tokuda, and Masashi, which is the true vitality of this land. I guess I was mistaken when I declared that something was missing. That something from this island had evaporated into thin air. Because even something that evaporates is not gone.
True.
It's still there, just in a different state of being. When water is heated by fire, it evaporates and eventually finds its place in the sky. Similarly, when the land was harmed, its vitality evaporated and eventually found its place among the inhabitants. This is the final answer I've been searching for. Anyway, thanks again. You know, even though we just met, I wish you could be my partner all the time. Call me greedy, I guess. But, of course, I know that's impossible. You have your own journey to complete. So I'll just keep doing what
Detective
I can.
minigame win.
Hopefully keeping my memories from evaporating
Hazel?
safe and sound in my mind. That way, I'll always be able to remember these beautiful things. The beauty of Watatsumi Island, the people who are full of life and vitality. And you two, who are by my side.
Yes, sir. Guess there's a split here. Dude, I love the song so much.
Something vital is missing on this island. Isn't that bizarre?
Hi, Mom Betsy.
Oh.
Maybe it was just a dream.
See, no, I thought so too. But after that, I had the same dream over and over again. Interestingly, I didn't have the same dream again after. Some people believe that dreams represent. However, it was my intuition, so I decided to. Unfortunately, who knows? Nah, don't worry about it. So how would you like to partner up on this one? Yes, of course, I understand. Well, so since we're already here, once everything is set... what a sterling example of dedication. In that case, I'll accompany you back to the police station first. We can discuss the issue of Watatsumi Island later.
Okay. Hopefully that's a split there. Watch it just loop back around.
Oh, look who showed up. Hazo, you're finally back. Listen, if you took any longer to come back, everyone at the police station would be toast.
You say that every time I come back, Uesugi. However, something does feel a little unusual about the police station this time.
Come on, would I ever lie to you? Madame Kujo-Sara is here, and she's on the warpath. So be on the lookout.
On the warpath.
What's that lady doing here?
Doshin Shikanoin, I see you finally returned. Please, enlighten us. What have you been doing recently?
Okay. I was just out investigating a case.
Don't give me that. I checked the records here. You didn't take any cases.
Actually, it's a case of personal relevance to me. These two can attest to that.
True.
Traveler? Paimon, what are you two doing here?
We're the ones who brought Hazel back.
Brought him back? Can someone please explain?
Well, Madame Kujo-Sara, because we couldn't locate Doshin Shikanoin, we commissioned Detective Ryuji from the detective agency. Shortly after, Ryuji returned to tell us, that he had given the commission to the Traveler, and then...
Ugh, it used to be that the Tenryo Commission assisted others with disappearances, but it seems these days others are now assisting us.
Damn.
You've done it this time, Shikanoin. I think I've really seen it all.
I mean, is it really so unusual for officers and citizens to assist one another?
Actually, he did seem to be investigating a case.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but it was definitely an investigation. He even pretended to be captured by Nobushi and treasure hoarders.
Oh? Is that so? Well, since you are testifying for him, I suppose I won't ask any more questions. But since you're here, I have an extra favor to ask. I'd like you to be Shikanoin's temporary supervisor. It'll be your duty to ensure that he handles his case properly, and that he doesn't disappear and neglect his work again. I'll be sure that the police station prepares the appropriate compensation.
Oh, yes, Traveler. I'm sure we'd all really appreciate it.
Well...
Hazel seems to be happy with the idea.
Understood. Leave it to me.
You should thank the Traveler this time, Doshin Shikanoin. Otherwise, I don't think I would have let you off so easily. Here,
Traveler
take
privilege.
this letter of complaint. It's written against you. Please consider carefully what to do with it. I do not wish to see another one.
Dang, a letter of
Understood?
complaint.
Huh? Someone filed a complaint? That can't be right. Why would there be a complaint letter?
You must not be doing your job properly, and now you're attracting complaints.
No, it really doesn't add up. You two don't get it. Although Madame Kujo-Sara just made some harsh remarks, we all know that Heizo-senpai is a real whiz when it comes to cracking cases. He's the biggest asset in our team. Several leaders have risen through the ranks
Probably
as a result
Dongo.
of his achievements. He's definitely no slacker.
Then he must have gotten himself into some kind of trouble.
Well, let me see what's the deal here. Oh, and since you agreed to be my temporary supervisor, you'll find the desk where new case files are kept right over there. Would you mind helping me check what cases I need to deal with?
I think you need to deal with your complaint letter first.
Of course, but first I have to confirm what's going on, and whether or not the letter's legit. Please, have a look at the case files first.
Why are they just out in the open like that? Prince of Mischief and Anamizaka. There's a slacker who claims to be the Prince of Mischief, terrorizing Hanamazaka. Children have reportedly been losing valuables in the area, the bulk of which are Onikabuto, Genius Invocation, TCG cards, and so on.
Not him again.
The beloved dog, Eastern Express, reportedly went missing late in the night. The owner discovered 12 canine footprints of varying sizes in the courtyard, leading to the initial assumption that the crime was carried out by a teen.
Who would give a dog such a strange name?
Police station. Your application for the public awareness campaign Hazotox Fraud has been received. Following review, your station has been authorized to run the performance with Shikanoan Doshin in charge of the related work. The headquarters of the Tenryou Commission.
Hazotox Fraud? What's that? Sounds interesting, whatever it is.
So, have you gone through the case
Yes.
files? Is there anything that caught your eye?
Yeah, your fraud one.
Oh, have they approved it already? The Tenryou Commission certainly has become more efficient ever since Kujo Kamaji took office.
So, what is Hazotox Fraud?
It's an anti-fraud public awareness event. Basically, think of it as a short play about fraud. We'll
Okay.
get a few people to perform an entertaining drama in order to raise public awareness about the issue.
Ooh, so it's a play? Paimon likes the sound of that.
Okay. I thought you were only interested in major cases, not petty things like fraud. Fraud is
Well,
a
see,
major
fraud
issue.
is a major issue
Yeah.
here. You've traveled between different nations. I'm sure Mora isn't really an issue for you. You have to understand that scamming the poor of their money is essentially robbing them of their lives. Left unchecked, the situation could potentially deteriorate into something more serious.
That makes sense. But will putting on a performance really work?
It's hard to say. Preventing crimes is more difficult than solving them, there's no doubt about that, but prevention is also a more worthwhile cause. Maybe only a small number of people who attend the event will ever actually encounter a scam artist. And even then, of the handful of attendees who encounter said scam artist, I doubt many of them will be able to see through the scammer's ruse.
This sits too close to home. I hate scammers, bro. Alright.
But if even only one person escapes the clutches of a scam artist because of my event, then I'm willing to put on this play for that person.
Alright, count us in! Today we are the anti-fraud messengers!
Yes, the anti-fraud messengers. Let's
Great.
go.
First, we need 3 actors, 2 to play the scam artists and 1 to play the victim. I already have a couple candidates in mind for the roles of the scam artists, so come with me to the Grand Narukami Shrine.
I really wish this game had a true windowed full screen. Is one of them gonna be Yaimiko? That'd be hilarious.
Ooh, if we're going to the Grand Narukami Shrine, are you planning to recruit Miko for your play? She'd be really good at acting.
Well, I guess you'll have to wait and see.
Oh.
Hazo, what are you doing here, you little brat?
You little
And
brat.
the Traveler, too. So, I assume you're here to see Lady Yae?
I honestly don't know who we're here to see.
Hey, come on, cuz. Maybe I'm just here to see you.
Don't play your little games with me. If the traveler isn't looking for Lady Yae, then you must be here looking for Etsu, right?
You still know me best, cuz.
Etsu.
Please wait here. I'll go get her.
Huh, so we're not here to see Miko? Bummer.
I'm flattered, but even if I wanted to, do you really think I could convince Lady Yae to join a little event like mine?
Get
Not
the
for
traveler
involved.
to ask her next time. She can do it.
True.
Well, hello, Detective Hazo. It's been so long since you last came to see me. You know, it's cruel to keep a girl waiting.
Sus.
Hey, community service isn't all bad, is it? I'm sure it's better than prison, at least.
Oh. Prison?
That's right. I was careless and found myself caught up in a case of fraud. Detective Hazo arrested me, and I was sentenced to prison.
For the record, I'm not the one who technically arrested you.
Oh, come now, Detective Hazo.
Oh, that's what she
Don't
wants.
pretend like you don't remember the part you played. You have a cold heart, Detective.
A what?
Colder than an icicle in the middle of winter.
Damn.
How would those Doshin have nabbed me if you hadn't provided evidence of my involvement and whereabouts, They were so bland and functional. Not like you, Detective. When you took me down, you knew exactly what you were doing.
So, how did you end up here at the shrine?
Good
I'm
on.
here doing community service, of course.
Oh.
After all the information Detective Hazo managed to squeeze out of me, he promised to help secure
Sus.
a reduced sentence from the court. But in the end, they hardly reduced my sentence at all. Even after serving a lengthy prison term, I am still required to perform community service. I have to spend the entire day sweeping leaves or wiping floors. Just look at what the work has done to my soft and delicate hands.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have committed a crime.
So, don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth.
I helped you get community service because you were credited with assisting the investigation. But if you find it too exhausting, I can always send you back to prison again.
Oh, come on, Detective Hazo. Now you're just toying with me.
Don't give me that. Listen, I'd like to invite you to the anti-fraud event I mentioned last time. It's tomorrow night, and you'll be a VIP guest. Let's see. Appearing in the event would be equivalent to, what, 5 days of community service? How does that sound?
Only 5 days? That's hardly anything.
5 days not enough? Okay. How about 4 days?
Hey! That's a day less than what you just promised me, Detective Hazo.
Oh, my mistake. 3 days.
Oh!
All right, I'll go. Just stop playing with my heart. And may I ask, will they also be coming as a guest tomorrow night?
Hi, I'm Tabor.
No wonder you're treating me so coldly today, Detective Hazo. Looks like you found someone else to keep you company. And what a charmer they are. I get what you see in them. I mean, you'd have to be blind not to.
Etsu, now's not the time. If I hear you talking like that to my friend again, I'll make your community service even more unpleasant than your time in prison.
Damn.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea they were your friend. Really.
Well, now you do. Just be sure you're ready tomorrow. I'll send you the location, time of the event, and the script, so don't be late. All right, on to our next candidate. He should be in town right about now.
Yeesh. Doing a lot of traveling. Guess they do call us the Traveler. They don't call us the Traveler for nothing. It's the old man.
Mr. Iba, how are you doing?
Oh, well, if it isn't Hazel. Thanks to you, I haven't kicked the bucket yet.
Well, it's good to see you're alive. And well.
All right, out with it. I know you wouldn't come see me for nothing.
I see you're still sharp as ever, Mr. Iba. Look, have you had a chance to think about that anti-fraud event I mentioned to you last time?
You can forget it. I'm pushing 71 this year.
71.
You think I want to make a fool of myself?
Are you sure? You know, this event is very well funded. And now that the Sakoku decree has been repealed, I heard that your granddaughter Kazumi wants to take the chance to travel. If you
Damn,
participate,
bribery?
she can go without worrying about money at all.
Bribery.
How did you know? Sure, I paid a hefty fine at the time, but I can still afford her travels.
A hefty fine.
You're Heizo's colleague, aren't you? How haven't you heard about this?
Well, it just so happens that Mr. Iba was a well-known figure in Inazuma back in the day. His Iba Trading Guild was even bigger than the current International Trade Association.
Don't bring it up again. If I hadn't been misled by that foreign merchant, I never would have become a commercial scammer. Fortunately, young Heizo here has some respect for the elderly, and applied for a probationary sentence. Otherwise, I don't think I would have ever seen the light of day again.
Well, if Hazel was so good to you, then you should help him out too.
He's not as innocent as he looks, you know. He just knows it's easier to get information when we're chatting outside. Ask him if you don't believe me.
Those are some pretty harsh words, Mr. Iba.
Anyway, I can't help you with that, event, or whatever you call it.
Ah, man alive. What should I do now? I already told Kazumi that you'd show up and caution everybody about avoiding fraud. I'm sure it'd be beneficial for everyone, and Kazumi even agreed to come and listen. How can I explain to her that you were too worried about being embarrassed? She might even think
Damn,
that you feel no
Hazel.
remorse at all.
Hazel's kind of manipulative, bro.
You imbecile! You should have told me about this first!
Come on now. How could I have known that you'd refuse to participate?
Why, you... You sure are a crafty one, just like your father.
So you'll join us?
Just like
What
his
choice
father.
do I have? Using my granddaughter to force me into some event. People these days.
Kids these days.
The world needs you to step up. I will send the time and place of the event as well as the script, so don't forget to prepare.
All right, very well.
Well then. Now we only need to find the last person to play the role of the fooled victim. We don't want someone too clever for this role, otherwise they'd see right through this ruse and the drama would come to a grinding halt.
Not too clever.
Oh god.
Oh, Paimon knows the perfect candidate.
Damn. Arataki numero uno Ito.
Oh yeah, I know that guy. I've seen him in the police station a handful of times, though I've never actually spoken to him before. Do you know where we can find him?
Well, we did just see a file called the Prince of Mischief in Hanamizaka. That's gotta be Ito. He must be in Hanamizaka.
All right then. To Hanamizaka we go. Oh, but knowing his reputation, I'll need to bring a little something along just to guarantee we can secure his
Hazel's is just like a
participation.
collaboration.
You go ahead. I'll catch up.
He's like had the most like characters in his hangout events. Compared to the other ones anyway. We've had Sara and Goro and now Ito.
How about that, kiddo? My little Prince of Mischief's got some moves, huh? Guess
got
that
the
means your
moves.
Onikabuto is now my Onikabuto.
Damn.
Ito, what are you up to?
Huh? Oh, Paimon, my compadre. This is a nice surprise. What brings you out this way?
Where you were bullying kids?
What? No, it's not. No, it's nothing like that. They let me look after their Onikabuto just for a little while for safekeeping, and then, once they've gotten stronger, they can come and take him right back.
You win some, you lose some.
Ooh.
That's right, my little guy. Good attitude. All right, see you around. Okay, yeah, bye.
Damn.
There's just no helping this guy.
Actually, we'd like to invite you to an anti-fraud event tomorrow night.
Oh, an anti-fraud event? I'll level with you, compadre. I have no idea what that is, but if you want me there, I can think of nowhere I'd rather be. Oh, except that there's this Oni Kabuto Battle Royale tomorrow night that I was planning on
Battle
going
Royale?
to. Yeah, it's gonna be huge. No holds barred, winner takes home all the Oni Kabuto. And as you can see, my Prince of Mischief has a pretty good chance of winning this thing, so if it was any other day, you know?
Do you think all of those Oni Kabuto together would be a match for my one? Here's a picture. Let me know what you think.
Damn. Nice looking beetle, bro.
Huh? Whoa, what this? What is this? How'd it get so big? What are you feeding this thing? Look at those beautiful demon stripes, those razor-sharp horns. Is this the fabled Emperor Oni Kabuto?
This is a small token we provide for VIPs. If you're willing to attend, then one of these
the
will be
master of
yours at the end of
bribery,
the
bro.
event.
Whoa, okay, I'm there. Wait a sec, you look familiar. Who are you anyway? And furthermore, do Oni Kabuto really come in this size? You're not trying to con me, are you? Because the more I think about it, the more I'm inclined to think that you're a contestant in tomorrow night's Oni Kabuto Battle Royale! Yeah, you lost to me in a previous beetle battle, and now you're trying to get the reigning champ out of the way. Without Prince of Mischief to contend with, you'll be free to sweep in and take all the Oni Kabuto. Am I right or am I right? Nice try, you little punk. 10 out of 10 for the pitch, but you picked the wrong victim.
Okay. Then again, consider this. If your Prince of Mischief isn't competing, what's the point of me taking part? After all I'd stand to win is a bunch of puny little larvae. No?
Well, you've stumped me there. You are completely right. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Sorry, my bro, my main man, my buddy. I had y'all wrong.
So, are you sure
I
this guy's
love
our best choice?
Arataki Ito's writing. It's so
I
good.
was already wondering if
Perfect for
you were
Max
trying to
Minamento.
con him.
Then allow me to introduce myself. I'm Shikanoin Heizo. I've seen you around a few times before at the police station.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I remember now. No wonder you looked so familiar. You were that guy who was in for stealing other people's Oni Kabuto, right? Listen, Heizo, hombre, did you apologize to them? You can lose like a man, you can win like a man, but you can never steal like a man. And that's a little Ito nugget.
Ito! He works there, for crying out loud! He's not one of your fellow inmates.
Jesus Christ.
What? Oh, jeez. What's wrong with me? How could I forget? Of course I know you. I remember you now. For real, this time. You're the guy who sells lavender melons at the station, aren't you?
A lavender melon seller? At the police station? Don't be ridiculous!
I know what I saw, okay? Several times now I've been sitting there starving in jail when this guy comes and slips me a few lavender melons on the sly. Didn't even want payment. Solid guy.
Yeah, that was me. But it was only because your assistant, Kuki Shinobu, asked me to look out for you.
What?
Aw.
So Shinobu was behind it? Wait, so hombre, you're not a lavender melon seller?
It was
Look,
Shinobu.
We're getting hung up on all the wrong details here. The important detail right now is that I am the host of tomorrow night's event. And if you show up, the Oni Kabuto in the picture is yours. Deal?
Deal, done. But could I get another look at that picture first? Just a little peek-see?
You'll have all the time in the world to inspect the real article once the event's over.
Okay, sure, I can wait. So, hombre, is there anything I need to do to prepare? Because if I'm doing this, I'm bringing my A game, all right? No half measures here, I'm gonna do this right.
Based.
He sure picks his moments to start acting responsibly.
Okay, so for this event, you, my, bro. We'll be participating in a short anti-fraud play along with 2 other VIP attendees. The main thing we ask is that you just relax. Try not to be nervous. I have the script, right here, if you want to take a...
Script? What? It sounds like someone's never seen the Arataki gang perform before, huh? Don't you worry, hombre. The Arataki gang is a little beyond the need for scripts. You'll see, this Oni Kabuto will be well worth your investment.
You, don't need a script? Wow, well, now I'm excited.
Oh no.
See you there tomorrow night.
You bet. I'll be there. I'm gonna tell the gang about this, too. They'll all be there to support us.
Dude, I feel like it's gonna be wild. Okay, so 8 o'clock the next day. This is gonna be wild.
It's almost time. Everyone ready? All right, then let's get this show started.
Oh, I can't wait, Mr. Hazo.
Let's get going, Hazo.
Emperor Oni Kabuto, hang in there, Your Highness. I'm coming for you.
It takes years to make a fortune, but only a moment to lose it all to a scam artist. Welcome to the first Hazo Talks Fraud. I am your eponymous host, Hazo.
Lol.
Okay, I'm delighted to have you all here today to explore the topic of fraud. To help everyone avoid becoming the victim of scam artists themselves, we thought we'd invite several VIPs with a lot of experience in this area to perform a little play with an anti-fraud message. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Miss Etsu, Mr. Iba, and the venerable gentleman, Mr. Arataki Ito. Without further ado, let the show begin.
Music starts and the actors take the stage. Hazo narrates from the side.
It was just another bright sunny day when a distressed Miss Etsu brought her elderly grandpa, Iba, into the police station to report a crime. There, they were greeted by a kindly Doshin, surname Arataki.
Doshin Arataki, please help us! My poor grandpa has been defrauded!
Doshin Arataki? You talking to me?
Ito.
Perhaps for want of familiarity with the script, a confused look creeps over Doshin Arataki's face, and he asks himself that age-old question. Who am I?
Yes, you are Doshin Arataki! You're Doshin Arataki!
Oh, so I'm in the play. Right, yeah. Okay, got it. I'm a Doshin, of course. Okay, I got this. Ma'am, can you tell who it was that defrauded your grandfather? Rest assured, the Tenryo Commission and I are here to bring them to justice.
I don't know. It was too late when I found out. They took all of my grandpa's money, and all they left was this note.
Doshin Arataki frowns as he realizes this is more complicated than he thought. He takes the note in his hand and reads it out loud.
I am the Raiden Shogun. I am currently being held hostage by the Crux fleet and urgently need 200,000 mora to secure my release. Please place the ransom mora on the north coast of the deserted island. When all of this is over, I will promote you to General of the Tenryo Commission.
It's the almighty Shogun. We cannot let Her Excellency come to harm.
But this is a scam, surely. I mean, 200,000 mora? Kinda lowballing it for the Electro Archon, don't you think? Shouldn't it be like, 300,000 at the very least?
Well, I sure thought so, but Grandpa's already parted with the money.
Well, then we gotta get it back. Is there still time?
Before I could go out to look for it, Grandpa received another note.
Oh no, not another note.
Doshin Arataki takes the note and reads it out loud.
I am Miss Hina. I am currently raising funds to publish a photo book. I urgently need 300,000 mora for publishing fees. In return for your support, you will receive a limited edition signed photograph.
It's Miss Hina. We can't leave poor Miss Hina in a tight spot.
You're right, Gramps. Is 300,000 mora enough? I can spare some too if we need to make up the difference. Maybe I can get a photo of Miss Hina too. I mean, we gotta help Miss Hina out here.
Well, he's throwing.
It's a scam, Doshin Arataki! Snap out of it!
Oh, right, yeah, no, yeah, because if Miss Hina needed funds, she'd come to me first, you know, as her #1 fan. Why would she go asking this old geezer for help?
Bruh.
These con artists don't know who they're up against.
Well, anyway, not long after Grandpa handed over the money, he received yet another note.
Doshin Arataki grabs the note and reads it aloud.
I am Arataki Ito. I was recently framed for a crime I totally did not commit, and now I'm stuck here in prison. I am in urgent need of 500,000 mora as bail. In return for your help getting me out, I will bring the whole gang over to thank you personally at your house.
Must be a scammer, surely. I've never heard of this person, and they're asking me for 500,000 mora.
Wait a minute. This is a scam. I'm Arataki Ito.
You are? But your name tag says...
Doshin Arataki follows Miss Etsu's gaze to the name tag emblazoned on his chest, which reads, Arataki Shmito.
What kind of whack job script is this? Am I me or ain't I?
So, the bail money?
Nope, no way, not a chance. Arataki Ito would never ask innocent people for mora in order to post bail. Whoever wrote this is a liar and a cheat, and we gotta get out there and get this guy off our streets.
But just as Doshin Arataki is being overcome with righteous indignation, the sound of Miss Etsu's weeping brings his attention back to her.
Miss Etsu, don't you worry. We're gonna catch the people who did this.
Even if you do catch them, how are we ever going to get Grandpa's money back? Oh, whatever are we going to do about all those Onikabuto?
Onikabuto? Wait, what was that about the, Onikabuto?
Oh, well, Grandpa is a major Onikabuto breeder in our village. His are the biggest and strongest Onikabuto around. People come from far and wide to buy from him. We recently received an order that was too big for our current capacity. We were planning to expand Grandpa's facilities, but then we were swindled out of all of our money. Right after we'd signed the contract, too. If we don't deliver these Onikabuto on time, Grandpa will have to pay huge damages. Oh, what are we going to do?
Man, what's that saying? It's like, it never rains, but it snowballs. Exactly what we're dealing with.
Etsu, my dear, don't worry. I'll sell the house if I have to. We'll find a way through.
But then where will we stay? Please help us, Doshin Arataki. All we need is the 500,000 mora that was taken from us. Can you help us raise it? Or maybe you could lend it to us?
Yo, this sounds like fraud.
Grandpa's business is going very well. We just need help getting over this hurdle. Doshin Arataki, please. If you lend us the money, I'm sure I can make it up to you by...
I won't hear of it. As a public servant, I would never dream of taking advantage of a person in need.
I was going to say, by giving you part ownership of the Onikabuto farm.
Oh, so that's what you were, yeah. It's not as enticing an offer as I was... wait, an Onikabuto farm, how many Onikabuto did you say you have? Because if it's more than, say, 10...
10,000.
What? 10,000? Well, that's more Onikabuto than I've seen in my whole life.
What is this play going off the rails
us.
into?
As long as we get through this, Those 10,000 Oni Kabuto are yours to keep.
10,000 Oni Kabuto. Hey, if I looked after them, they'd have little baby Oni Kabuto. And then the little baby Oni Kabuto would grow up and have little baby Oni Kabuto of their own.
Doshin Arataki is struck by a sudden wave of pure elation. His face breaks into a big, beaming smile. But what does he do next?
Miss Etsu, don't you worry. I'm gonna help you out. But 10,000 is too many. I can only accept 1,000. Wait, no, what am I saying? 500 Oni Kabuto. As a Doshin of the Tenryou Commission, it is my duty to serve. How could I abuse my position to take advantage of you?
That's great news, Master Arataki. What a wonderful person you are. So strong
She's
and
scamming
handsome
you.
and committed to doing the right thing. It's rare to find these days.
Yep, that's me.
The lesson is
All right,
anyone can
there's
be
just
taken
one final
advantage
question
of
that needs answering.
with fraud.
What question is that?
The question is, where's my Mora? Huh. Yo, Hazel, my hombre, question for you. What's my character's salary in the script? Oh, also, any inheritance or other lump sums I should know about? Basically, can I afford this 500,000 Mora? I mean, Schmito. I can afford it. Can Schmito?
Faced with a damsel in distress, Doshin Arataki fights to remain level-headed and asks that other age-old question. Where's my Mora? Suddenly, he feels a strange compulsion to slide his hand into his pocket where, it turns out, a bank check has been quietly nestled all along. He draws the check out and inspects it. Today is payday, and this is his salary. The amount? 500,000 Mora.
Whoa, check it out! A check for 500,000 Mora! Where'd you come from, buddy? Miss Etsu, get this. Turns out I just got paid 500,000 Mora today. Well, here's your Mora.
Thank you so much. Master Arataki, what's wrong?
Doshin Arataki stretches out his hand. But wait! Just as he is about to hand over the check to Miss Etsu, he hesitates, tightly pinching one end of the check betwixt his two fingers. All he needs to do now is release the check, and it will fall into Miss Etsu's eager hands. But let go of the check he does not.
Master Arataki, let go!
Wait. Something's not right.
Doshin Arataki is having second thoughts. Has something caught his attention? Has it aroused his suspicion? Has he finally realized the truth?
So, this is an anti-fraud show, right?
Huh?
A spark of intuition bursts to life in Doshin Arataki's mind.
Since this is an anti-fraud event, I have a question.
Is he about to ask the most critical question of all?
I gotta ask.
This is it. Here it comes.
Does a Doshin really get paid this much? 500,000 Mora. Enough to get an Electro Archon out from a hostage situation, then go pay for Miss Hina's publishing costs. You telling me the average Doshin can do all that on one pay packet? I don't know, seems pretty fishy to me. Hey, compadre, what do you think? Am I being scammed here?
Hazel! Ito's cheating! He asked for help!
As the spark of intuition flickers and threatens to fade, Doshin Arataki clutches around in desperation, hoping to find a source of fuel to feed the flames of enlightenment. Traveler, are you going to help this poor man out of his predicament?
Keep an eye out for Etsu and Iba.
Aha! Etsu and Iba! So that's what's going on here! You two are the scam artists. You put on this damsel in distress and elderly grandpa act to win my sympathy, then used a few cheap tricks to get my attention. Then you dangled the bait in front of me, waiting for me to bite. Darn it! I knew it! Who in their right mind would give away Oni Kabuto for free, let alone 10,000 of them? It's too good to be true, and that's how I know you're the scam artists. You got a lot of nerve trying to scam a Doshin. You're coming with me, and you'll give a full confession if you know what's good for you.
Finally, with the help of his intuition and a little guidance from beyond the void, Doshin Arataki successfully avoided being defrauded. Not only that, but he asked a critical question. Who in their right mind would give away Oni Kabuto for free? I ask you all, is there such a thing as free Oni Kabuto? Free Mora? Or does nothing in life come for free? All right, remember, it takes years to make a fortune, but only a moment to lose it all to a scam artist.
True.
Thank you once again for watching Hazo Talks Fraud. Stay alert, everybody, and see you again next time.
Woo! That was so long, dude.
So, how's my acting? I think I did just fine without a script. Those two would-be scam artists need to up their game if they want to have a chance of taking me down.
Hello? Without that hint from the Traveler, you would have handed that cash away without a second thought.
Right, yeah. I should thank her for the timely hint. But I pretty much knew off the bat that something fishy was about to go down, so, it was just a matter of time before I saw right through their scam.
But it could be too late.
Seriously, oldest trick in the book. Who's gonna fall for that?
You.
Old tricks they may well be, but the reason they've stood the test of time is that the ideal victim is always out there somewhere. People who are behind on the times, naive, socially isolated, or have cognitive deficiencies. Just because they don't always get noticed doesn't mean they're not there. Scammers cast a wide net. Sure, maybe 10,000 fish will escape, but they only need one catch for them to win and for us to lose.
Well, no more losing from now on. Not with me here to protect everyone. I think we can all agree that my performance today shows I'm savvy enough to keep the scammers at bay.
So.
Don't be too confident. Anyway, Ito, my old... what was it again? Ah, yes, bro. Here's the reward you were promised.
Ah, music to my ears. Emperor Oni Kabuto, come to Papa. Oh, look at those sharp horns and those beautiful stripes. Well, hold on. Hazo, my hombre.
You got scammed.
Hey, bud, move. Oh no, I think this one might have, joined the big beetle battle in the sky.
It's a figurine, so not the moving kind.
What? A figure? So, it's a fake?
Man alive, you seem a little surprised. Wait, you didn't actually think this was a real Oni Kabuto, did you? No, surely not. Ito, old chap, you must have seen from the photograph that it was a figurine. Don't tell me you didn't notice. Really?
You little punk! Give me my Emperor Oni Kabuto now!
Lol. What a savage. What a savage. That was long. Just like me for real. I mean, what? I didn't say that out loud.
I'm all for work. Life balance.
That's we're going back to the play. But I think this time we don't give him the hint.
It's almost time. Everyone ready? All right.
Oh, I can't.
Let's get going.
Emperor Oni Kabuto, hang in there, Your Highness.
It takes years to make a fort. Okay. I'm to help everyone avoid. Please join me and Miss Etz, Mr.
lot
Eva,
of
and the
dialogue to go
venerable.
through.
Without further ado. It was just another.
Doshin Arataki!
Doshin?
Yes! You...
Oh, so...
Yes!
Ma'am!
I don't know. It was too late when I found out. They took.
Doshin Art.
I am the.
It's the almighty...
Well, I sure.
Well, then.
Before I could go out.
Doshin Art.
I am Miss.
It's Miss Hina.
You're right, Gramps. Is 300,000 more?
It's a scam, Doshin Arataki.
Oh, right, yeah. He's.
Well, anyway.
Doshin Arataki.
I am Ar.
Must be a scam.
Wait a minute.
Doshin Arataki.
What kind of whack job?
So.
Nope, no way, not a chance. Arataki Ito wouldn't.
But just as Doshin
Misatsu, don't you?
Even if you do.
Oni Kabuto.
Oh, well, we recently received an order that was too big for our current capacity. We were planning to expand Grandpa's facilities,
Wait,
but then we were.
wait, I was like, why can't I skip to this?
My
But then where? Please
I think
help
she
us.
looks
Grandpa's business
poggers.
is-
I won't hear of it.
I was going.
Oh, so that's what you
Bro,
were.
let me get to the split,
yeah.
damn it.
No, it's not as enticing enough. Because if it's more than, say...
10,000.
How you doing,
What?
Miss Shurika?
10,000?
Please help us.
10,000?
Doshin Arataki.
Base.
Misatsu, don't you worry.
Yeah, she's a
but
cat girl. Of
10,000
course,
at
of
Doshin
course I'm gonna like her.
That's great news. What question?
The question... Huh. Yo, hey...
Suddenly.
Whoa, check it out!
Why can't I just go to the dialogue option, damn it? Just let me do the dialogue option.
Wait.
Doshin Arataki is.
I'm doing alright.
So,
Huh?
I'm trying to finish up some
A
hangout
spark
events that
of
I haven't done.
since this is
he about to?
I got...
This is it.
Does a Doshin really get paid this much?
Okay, we're almost the dialogue option.
Now, see...
Traveler, are you going?
Nope, I'm not gonna help him. Ito, just follow your heart.
Follow my heart. All right, then. There's no way a Doshin makes 500,000 mora in a single pay packet. Two innocent
call
victims,
out
Miss Etsu
Heizo.
and Mr. Iba, come to a Doshin for help. And the Doshin, what, whips out a 500,000 mora check? Yeah, likely story. There's only one possible
Bruh.
explanation. Who's got two horns and carries around a fake checkbook? Yep, this guy.
Alright, Taki. Did he just out himself?
With this fake check for 500,000 mora, I almost swindled Etsu and Iba out of 10,000 Onikabuto, the last thing these poor folks needed after the recent string of catastrophes they've faced. My mind is blown. Craziest plot twist I ever heard. The criminal was the main character all along. Miss Etsu, I'm afraid I can't let myself give you this fake check. But I will do everything in my power to raise 500,000 genuine mora for you. So don't you worry.
What the?
Oh, jeez.
In the end, Doshin Arataki listened to the voice of his heart and narrowly avoided being defrauded in his own
detective.
unconventional way. But regrettably, he failed to ask the critical question: who in their right mind would give away Oni Kabuto for free? I ask you all, is there such a thing as free Oni Kabuto? Free Mora? Or does nothing in life come for free? Thank you all for watching Heizo Talks Fraud. Don't get greedy and you won't be needy. Stay alert and you won't get hurt. You never know where
why you
scammers may
rhyming?
lurk. See you
Oh
all
my
next
god,
time.
dude, bars! Bars! I didn't know Hazel was a rapper.
Wait, my man, what did you mean when you said I avoided being defrauded? I thought I was the fraudmeister here.
The fraud
Maybe
meister.
someone should have read the script. Miss Etsu and Master Iba were
Tell
the
us that
scam
Nina would
artists.
say.
Duh! You were the one they were trying to scam.
What? Huh? I was being conned? Darn, I can't believe they got me.
Well, you still managed to protect your money. In the end, they didn't succeed.
Yeah, but that was a happy coincidence. They scammed me, and I fell for it.
Guessing it wasn't your first time either, huh?
It was such a cheap trick, too. Oh, this is killing me.
The trick is a common one for a reason, but don't underestimate it. That's how you end up being a victim.
But how am I gonna protect my gang if even I get fooled by such cheap tricks?
Don't blame yourself, old chap. In fact, you know what? I was also conned today. Yeah, me, of all people. Does that make you feel better?
You too, hombre? No way. No, that's impossible. You're just trying to cheer me up.
Oh, no, it's the truth. Please, just take a look at the present I got for you.
Wait, why can't it move?
That's just it.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry to say.
He twisted
It's
it.
just a figurine.
What? A figure? You mean it's a fake?
Yeah, and it's all my fault. I was duped by the Onikabuto vendor's false advertising. What a colossal fool I am. Taken in by a common street vendor? Ugh.
I like how he's scamming him again.
Dude! Let me take a second to let that sink in. Gotta say, although I didn't get my Emperoroni Kabuto, somehow, knowing that even Hazel got conned kinda puts me back in a good mood. It's, strange. Maybe I'm sharper than I'm giving myself credit for. Great minds think alike, so, me and my hombre here, kinda equally matched. Hey, by the way, compadre, looks like you're the only one out of the three of us who didn't get conned today. But you better watch out. We got fooled not because we were stupid, but because those scam artists are some crafty dastards. I want you to have this figurine as a reminder of the fact that today, Hazel and I both got conned, but we both grew a little wiser too. I hope that whenever you see it, you'll remember how cunning those con artists were, and how difficult it was for Hazel and I to see through their schemes. Then, you'll always keep your wits about you, and you'll never become a victim yourself.
Yep, that's right. No one will ever manage to con you.
Aw, that's cute. I like that. Okay. We have two more. Okay, we gotta split here somewhere. So we gotta go back to Watats. Oh no, wait, no, it's not Watatsumi. Oh, do we have to choose that one other case that wasn't involved in the thing? Probably. Probably that one case about the dog. What the dog doing? Maybe we have to give a different dialogue option
So,
to,
have you gone through the case file?
Okay. Oh yeah, the complaint letter.
I'm afraid this won't be
I
an
forgot about the
easy
complaint letter.
task. I was hoping I wouldn't have to drag you into this, but it's just occurred to me that with your help, I might be able to wrap up this problem.
Alright then, tell us about the complaint letter.
It's from Songo, the
Knew
president
it!
of Bonton Songo
I knew
Detective
it!
Agency. I assume you've met her before?
Yeah, I know you two have some beef, and it appears to be pretty serious.
You can say that. Songo's complaint letter accuses me of abusing my power for personal gain and blatantly concealing the truth behind the Ryuji case from years ago. Seriously, do I really seem like the type of person who'd do that?
Concealing the truth? That definitely sounds like something you would do.
Hey, don't judge a book by its cover.
Like a dragon, in fact.
Let's just go to the detective agency and talk to Songo. We'll need to speak with her to get to the bottom of this.
Dude, this game's just judgment, for real, for real. For real, for real. I could have gotten to the waypoint. What was I thinking?
Welcome back, Mr. Hazo. I'm glad you're all right. How about some tonkatsu? You must have missed the taste of home after so long.
Maybe next time, Ryuji. Seems like somebody's been expecting me. And I'm afraid they're only gonna be disappointed once again.
Well, look who it is. The great Detective Hazo. What nonsense were you talking about just now? I've been worried about you, you know. So much so that I took the trouble to write that heartfelt letter to the Tenryo Commission. Well, was it sufficiently flattering for you?
Uh-oh, they're at it again.
Let's not waste the traveler's time, Songo. Just tell me, what do you want?
Fine by me. My request is simple. Disclose all the details of the Ryuji case. It's time you stop hiding the truth and let me investigate it thoroughly.
First of all, that case has already been solved. Second, I've disclosed everything the police station has on the case. And third...
Enough! You can only fool Ryuji with that. If you don't want to cooperate, I can assure you that I will write more
Let's
letters
go,
to the
Talk.
headquarters of the Tenryo Commission. I will not give up on this case.
Where's Judgment
Wait,
3?
Hold on. Can someone please explain what's going on here? Paimon doesn't have a clue what you two are talking about.
All right, let me explain. Several years ago, a terrible murder took place in the police station. I was still working at the Tenryo Commission then, and the victim was actually my dear boss. Due to various factors, I was deemed to be the top suspect, which is why it's called the Ryuji case. Also, Hazel wasn't a part of the police station back then. He was a detective at the agency. Which at the time was called the Bonton Sango and Heizo Detective Agency.
Huh? That's crazy! But, wait. Then why did Hazel leave?
After the incident, I was quickly convicted and sent to prison. Fortunately, Sango then promptly proved my innocence and caught the real murderer.
But that murderer was actually just a dummy to throw us off. Am I right, Detective Shikanoin?
Sango thought that everything went smoothly, so much so that she suspected the real murderer was someone else. Of course, Detective Heizo was also helping with the investigation, but after a long time, he still came up empty-handed. Later on, he decided to join the police station to continue his investigation on the inside, which is why he left the detective agency.
Ha! That's what I thought too. I was foolish enough to believe that Detective Shikanoing and I shared a common goal. But I was wrong about him. He has no sense of loyalty at all. He just wanted to become an official as a means of gaining fame and fortune.
How can you be so sure, though?
Stop exaggerating. Let me set the record straight here. First, I joined the police station long after that murder case happened, and it had nothing to do with any inside investigation. That's just somebody's wishful thinking. Second, purely out of curiosity, I did investigate the case later from within the police station. My conclusion was that the suspect Sango had caught was in fact the real murderer. And lastly, when Sango didn't buy my conclusion and asked me to disclose all related case files from the police station, I did exactly as she asked. I didn't hide anything.
He's lying right through his teeth.
That's it. I want this to end once and for all. Since the Traveler's my supervisor today, they have complete access to all the police station's files. If she's willing to help re-examine the case and arrives at the same conclusion that I did, then you won't have to doubt me anymore.
Whoa. Huh?
Unless you don't trust the Traveler. Come on, say it.
Damn.
It's not about whether the Traveler's trustworthy. I'm just wondering if you will interfere somehow.
The thought never even crossed my mind.
You have to swear that you will not mislead the Traveler by any means, and let her investigate the truth on her own.
No problem. Cross my heart, hope to die.
Well, Traveler, are you willing to help me with this? Will you agree to re-examine the Ryuji case and find the truth? You can bill me later for however much you'd like as compensation.
Sango, really? However much they want?
Money is valuable, no doubt. But pursuing the truth is the reason I started this agency. The Ryuji case is the only case I failed to solve.
10 billion Mora.
I am willing to give you
A small loan of 10 billion Mora. No need to go that far. I'll help you for free.
All right. I'm counting on you, Traveler. You hear that, Detective Shikanoin? Ha! Now we just need to wait and see.
All right, I got it. No need to keep yammering like that. You'll scare the kids next door. Come on, let's go back to the police station.
Back to the Tenryo Commission.
All right, hang out here for a sec. I need to go to the archives to get the case files. For now, why don't you go and chat with Yoriki Owada over there? He worked on this case too back in the day.
Seem to really want me to look into this.
No, you misunderstand. It's not that I want you to look into this. It's just that you're the only one who can. You're the only one I can think of who Sango would ever believe. She trusts in both your qualities and abilities, so I hope your findings can finally convince her and put an end to this whole thing. Sure, she's just writing complaint letters for now, but who knows what she'll do in the future. Alright, I'll go get those case files. You go ahead and talk to Yoriki Owada for a while.
Alright, Owada, what do you gotta say, bro?
Oh, hello there.
Hello. Heizo sent me to talk to you about the Ryuji case.
The Ryuji case. Oh, so you want to reinvestigate that one? That was several years ago now, but I still remember it clearly. It's pretty hard to forget something like that. Especially when the victim was the head of this police station. His name was Takatsukasa Isamu, the younger brother of Takatsukasa Susumu, head of the Takatsukasa clan.
Jesus Christ.
He was really one of a kind. Decisive, brave, and smart. He was much younger than me, and already had quite a reputation. I'm sure he would have gone far in the Tenryou Commission, if only he was still alive. What a shame. Who would have guessed someone was plotting against him?
They said Ryuji was the top suspect.
People will believe anything they hear. Everyone in the police station knew that Ryuji saw Takatsukasa Isamu like a father. Ryuji was an orphan, you know. Before he joined the station,
so
he had been
Nino's out
taking
to
odd
target
jobs
him.
here and there. It was Isamu who really took him under his wing. Ryuji was simple and not particularly bright, but he was very loyal to those who treated him well. He's also hardworking. Isamu must have seen these qualities in him and decided to keep Ryuji by his side. Ryuji worked with him for years after that, and was even promoted to be his personal assistant. Do you really think Ryuji would do anything to harm him?
So, then why was Ryuji convicted? Even Paimon can tell that's a mistake.
Well, here comes the interesting part of the case. Within a week, and before all the loose ends had even been tied up, Ryuji received his conviction. Moreover, it was signed by Madame Kujo Sara.
What? Why would Sara do something like that?
What do you think, Owada?
I'm getting older now, and my eyesight is poor. I can't see too clearly anymore.
Hey,
get better
come
eyes
on,
for it.
Yoriki Owada, there's nothing to see. It's obvious that the Kujo clan did it.
You can't just go around saying things like that, Wisuki. Those were just hearsay. There was no evidence.
That's not true. Traveler, you may be unaware that the Takatsukasa clan has always been assisting the Kujo clan in the Tenryou Commission. But who doesn't want to be the boss, right? And Takatsukasa Isamu was the key figure for the Takatsukasa clan to bring down the Kujo clan. At that time, no one was held in higher regard than Isamu. So, naturally, the Kujo clan saw him as a potential threat. Kujo Takayuki must have been planning it all along, that rascal. Takayuki is able to control the Takatsukasa clan as long as he's in power. But by the time he retires, Isamu would have been at the apex of his political power, while Masahito and Kamaji of the Kujo clan would still have been too young. The two of them wouldn't stand a chance against Isamu. You think Kujo Takayuki would simply sit back while Isamu gained traction? So he decided to strike first.
That was his motivation.
You youngsters and your conspiracy theories.
No, it's true. It's the only way to explain it. Otherwise, why would an impartial person like Madame Kujo Sara sign Ryuji's conviction so quickly? They had to find a scapegoat to pacify the Takatsukasa clan, so Kujo Takayuki must have told her to sign it immediately. I'm not accusing Madame Kujo Sara of anything, mind you. I respect her very much. But maybe she had no other choice.
What do you know? I'm sure Madame Kujo Sara must have had her own reasons.
What about the real murderer who was later caught by Sango?
The guy was a forensic expert who worked in the station named Shiroyama. I have to admit, he wasn't easy to track down. That Sango really is something, though. She caught him without even breaking a sweat. It turned out that after poisoning Isamu, Shiroyama secretly took the poison to Ryuji's place in order to frame him. Later on, the poison was also found in the forensic office, but that was already after Shiroyama's death. He confessed everything in a testament.
That's right. He hung himself in the forensic office not long after Sango was on his trail. Probably because he knew it was only a matter of time before he would be caught.
Damn.
Of course, he didn't admit whether he had been prompted by Kujo Takayuki. He took the responsibility alone. I bet Kujo Takayuki promised him a sizable compensation. After all, Shiroyama had a family to feed.
There you go again, pulling conclusions out of thin air. There wasn't any evidence of that at all.
Listen, I can almost guarantee that it was the Takatsukasa clan who invited Sango to investigate. We all knew that Ryuji was just a scapegoat. You think the Takatsukasa clan wouldn't figure that out? They're not stupid. So, they were suspicious of the Kujo clan and invited Sango
This is
to
gonna
take
be the
the
longest
case.
Hangout event they've ever done.
However, the Kujo clan were
Wonder
still
how
a step
long that
ahead
Farazan's
and were
is.
able to remove themselves from the situation before the whole thing blew up. They drove Shiroyama to take all the blame as well as his own life. A perfectly clean cut for the Kujo clan. With Shiroyama dead, there was no one left to testify. Even the Electro Archon herself wouldn't be able to do anything.
You make up stuff faster than a politician. It's a
Damn.
wonder nobody's asked you to be an advisor yet.
Hey,
damn.
that's their loss.
The whole thing is starting to sound complicated.
Hey, I brought the files. I bet you got quite an earful just now, huh? But don't believe everything they say. After all, people can tell you anything, and it's hard to separate truth from rumors without facts. So what really matters is the case files. Everything laid out here is all that the police station has about the case. Please, take a look. Remember, you may find many clues during an investigation, but not all of them are useful. And in some cases, the clues you will find will not only be useless, but downright misleading. Also, if a clue cannot corroborate anything on its own, you can always compare it with other clues, and maybe then you'll find what you're looking for. Okay, that should just about do it. I'm looking forward to your results.
Hold on. What actually counts as a result?
Usually, you need to find two things from these clues: a proven motive and proven means. Once you can confirm these two things, the criminal can be proven guilty.
I understand.
All right, you can go ahead and get started now. I look forward to hearing your verdict.
Ryuji's testimony. A week before the incident, Master I'm not even gonna try. Isamu caught a cold and lost his appetite. Rice was all he could eat, and he had been taking some special cold medicine. The night before the incident, he had yet to recover and was still busy with his work, so I was worried about his health. When Dr. Shiroyama came to deliver the medicine, I consulted him about a health supplement. Dr. Shiroyama said that fish liver paste could help boost his immune system, so I went to the forensic office to retrieve some and gave it to Master. But the next day, really, Master was so kind to me. I swear I wouldn't ever do that to him.
Come to think of it, Shiroyama was a forensic doctor. He could easily pull off something like this.
The autopsy report. The deceased, Isamu, 41 years old, police station manager. Clothes intact at the time of death. No visible trauma observed on the body, no sign of a struggle. The throat was congested and swollen, caused by a cold before his death. Local ulceration was found in the stomach and intestines, caused by a novel toxin found in the stomach contents. Stomach contents include partially undigested soft rice residue, small volume of fish liver paste residue, the main ingredient of which is highly concentrated fish liver extract, a valuable nutritional supplement. Small volume of cold medicine residue containing a large amount of acidic fruit and vegetable extracts. Appears to be a specially prepared medicine from the Office of Forensic Science. Small volume of novel toxin residue, which was found to be the same toxin discovered in the homes of Ryuji and Shirayama. Cause of death: abdominal mucous membrane disease plus respiratory and circulatory failure triggered by the novel toxin.
Yikes! He ate all kinds of stuff.
Shirayama's testament. I murdered Isamu. I poisoned his cold medicine. Though he appeared to be honest and honorable in public, in secret he asked me to search out a new type of poison to get rid of those who opposed him. He also said that if I refused, he would have thrown me in prison. He used my family to blackmail me. He left me with no choice. I killed him with a new type of poison that I had someone purchase for me at the International Trade Association. To protect myself, I later framed my colleague Ryuji. But now it's only a matter of time before the detective uncovers everything. I know that I've made a big mistake and that there's no escaping it now. Only death awaits me. I merely ask that my family be spared.
Hey, this is the key to proving that Shirayama was the murderer, right? That is, if he was telling the truth, of course.
A note placed with Shirayama's testament. After comparing the handwriting, it was confirmed to have been written by the deceased, Isamu. Shirayama, long time no see. I trust the thing I asked you for is in progress. I paid a visit to your home today while you weren't around. Thankfully, your wonderful wife welcomed me in. She's a fine woman. Perfect match for you. Your wife is 5 months pregnant, I believe. Can't see that, my wife too. I took the liberty of returning once more to provide her with some health supplements. Even helped administer them to her myself. She was most grateful indeed. You'll be equally grateful to me, no doubt. Then don't keep me waiting.
Tsukasa Isamu seems like a thoughtful person, but something about the tone sounds weird.
Fiction of Shirayama. Suspect Shirayama, 22 years old, forensic doctor, a subordinate of the deceased, Isamu. Shirayama grew to resent his boss, Isamu, following conflict at work. He then secretly bought a bottle of poison to kill him in revenge. Unused poison was later found in the suspect Shirayama's office. In his testament, he confessed to have planted the poison found in Ryuji's house. For the crime of premeditated murder, Shirayama is hereby sentenced to death. Punishment cannot be carried out as the subject ended his own life before the execution could take place. This file shall be kept as evidence. Signed, Kujo Sara.
So Shirayama's conviction was also signed by Kujo Sara, just like Ryuji's.
Toxicology report. On the toxin that caused Isamu's death. An odorless, tasteless, and inert substance, soluble in water but insoluble in other substances. Has the properties of a synthetic toxin. It appears as a fine white powdery substance in its normal state. Tentative name, white powder. The station has investigated the ledgers of all domestic commerce guilds. No transaction record for such an item was found.
A synthetic toxin? What's that?
Conviction of Ryuji. The suspect Ryuji, 20 years old, Doshin, a subordinate of the deceased, Isamu. Ryuji grew to resent his boss, Isamu, following conflict at work. He then secretly bought a bottle of poison to kill him in revenge. This is like the same wording for... Unused poison was later found in the suspect Ryuji's house. For the crime of premeditated murder, Ryuji is ordered to remain in temporary incarceration awaiting trial. This file should be kept as evidence. Kujo Sara.
Ryuji's conviction really was signed by Kujo Sara. But now we know she had it wrong.
Research log from the Office of Forensic. It's blank. Looks like someone tore out a few pages.
That's weird. There's nothing here. This must be some of the false information that Hazel told us to look out for.
It's us.
So, what did you find? Have you come to a conclusion?
Yes, I did.
Really? You found the criminal's motive and means that quickly? Awesome. All right, let's talk about the motive first. What clue reveals the criminal's motive?
Oops.
Just
Okay.
Shiroyama's testament?
No, but
Though
it was
it does have the confession of his
both. I
motives,
should have clicked on
this
both.
alone is not enough.
Oh well.
He could have been lying. We need evidence to prove what he said is true. Perhaps you should give it some more thought.
The dog don't want to. No. That her hand may have been forced. Okay, there we read this one. Right?
Although Shiroyama's testament contains the confession of his motive,
Okay, then I'm still wrong.
Ryuji's testimony cannot prove it. Perhaps you should give it some more thought.
Perhaps I'm just stupid.
Excellent work. According to the victim's message, the two had deep conflicts. Although we cannot confirm whether the poison had been requested by the victim or not, it is true that Isamu used Shiroyama's family to blackmail him. Such circumstances could be enough motive for Shiroyama to commit the crime.
But wasn't Takatsukasa Isamu good to Shiroyama? He even went to Shiroyama's house to bring health supplements. But maybe he didn't really bring health supplements. Maybe it was something bad.
Is that what you think, Paimon? Well, we later found out that what Takatsukasa Isamu sent to Shiroyama's house was indeed health supplements. But if you consider the circumstances, what he sent wasn't important. What was important is that sending the supplements was actually a dangerous signal. Isamu was essentially implying, I can put anything in your wife's supplements at any time. If you really care about her safety, then get me what I want.
So
Punk
scary.
ass.
Your assumption sounds like a real threat. You're not really that dark inside, are you?
You don't really catch criminals by standing in the light, do you? Basically, these two clues work to verify each other, and the murderer's motive is confirmed. Now, all that's left is the means of the crime. Next, which clue confirms the criminal's means? So, what did you find? Have you come to a conclusion?
I think. I think that's right.
Bingo! The autopsy report confirms that the cause of death was a special toxin. The testament indicates that Shiroyama used his position as a forensic expert to mix the toxin into the cold medicine taken by the deceased. But is that really the truth? Is it not possible that the
I love
toxin
Genshin
was
music, but I
mixed
already know
into
that.
the fish liver paste? Well, according to the toxicology report, this white powder only dissolves in water. Neither rice nor the fish liver paste could be used as a carrier of the toxin. The cold medicine was the only option. Putting the poison elsewhere would not only fail to guarantee a lethal dose, but would also increase the chance of it being noticed by the deceased. Therefore, the means is also confirmed.
Add that to the motive for the crime and... Whoa! So the murderer really was Shiroyama!
Yep, pretty clear cut, wouldn't you say? Look, I really don't know what Sango is so suspicious about.
Yeah, it's pretty clear cut. Huh. You could say...
Well, we still have the torn
almost
pages.
too clear cut.
Wait, I still have some questions.
Oh? Well, let's hear them. Maybe I have answers. What's bugging you?
Toxicology report mentioned that the poison isn't sold anywhere in Yuzuma. It's a research log from the forensic science blank. Did someone tear out some pages?
This also puzzles me. Maybe someone doesn't want us being privy to the content inside, or maybe Shiroyama tore a bunch of pages out by accident. But regardless, this isn't essential to the case. Like I said before, a lot of what comes up in an investigation is irrelevant information. The crucial elements are Shiroyama's motive and means, which we have established.
Toxicology report mentioned poison isn't sold anywhere in Inazuma, but Shiroyama's testament said that it was bought at the international... International Trade Association again, huh?
Maybe the report was wrong. The International Trade Association is a gathering place for merchants from all over. Countless merchants pass through the port of Rito
That's
every
true, they
day.
did have the same
It's
exact
natural
conviction.
for there to be a couple of missing records here or there. Very nice.
Except I
Top
gave you the
marks
other
for
answers first,
attention to
Lowell.
detail. It doesn't have any real bearing on the case, but let me explain how that works for you. So, why would Madame Kujo-Sara sign one conviction sentencing Ryuji to temporary incarceration awaiting trial, and another conviction sentencing Shiroyama to death? You may have heard some rumors back at the station that when this case first came up, the Kujo clan higher-ups were in dire need of a scapegoat to keep the Takatsukasa clan off their backs. And poor Ryuji became the successful candidate. In less than a week, the conviction was drafted, sent to Madame Kujo-Sara, and signed. Allegedly, she knew what it was
Oh, so
about
it was
as soon as
bait.
she saw it, and signed it with no questions asked.
Actually smart.
But anyone who buys this story clearly doesn't know that much about Madame Kujo-Sara. She's the most principled person in the entire Tenryo Commission, for goodness sake. So, how would she respond to a case filled with unanswered questions and no confession from the suspect?
Oh, you mean...
Exactly. Before she signed it, she changed Ryuji's conviction from the death sentence to temporary incarceration.
Gotcha.
Ryuji escaped a disastrous fate without ever realizing it. Had Madame Kujo-Sara not changed his sentence, Sango would have been seeking justice for a dead man.
Why was Sara so lenient with Ryuji?
That's the wrong question. This wasn't about Ryuji, but Madame Kujo-Sara's principles. The conviction could have been for a Ryuji, a Guji, heck, even a Tanuki, and she would have made the same decision.
Yeah, there was some evidence for her
Given
to
the enormous pressure
give
she was
them
under
a
at the
death
time,
penalty.
I'd say she did the most she could. Don't you think?
Pressure? Really? Was someone higher up putting pressure on Sara?
The pressure came from all sides. The deceased was the leader of the police station and the rising star of the Takatsukasa clan. All eyes were on this case. How this became reduced to the unimaginative rumor that Madame Kujo-Sara convicted Ryuji under pressure from her superiors, I have no idea.
Ugh. Rumors here, conspiracy theories there. Lies at every turn.
Fortunately, Madame Kujo-Sara works in an open and transparent manner, and pays no heed to rumors like this. She just rolls her eyes and forgets all about them.
How do you know?
Just because she has never publicly clarified the truth doesn't mean she was hiding anything. So when I asked her about it, saying it was relevant to a case I was working on, she just told me how it was.
Based Kujo-Sara.
Believe me, in this case, more than any other, I have checked every last detail. Well, I've answered all your lingering questions, and you've checked all the material the police station has, so... What do you think? Case closed?
Paimon still feels like something doesn't add up. But then again, Hazel did give us all the files the police station had. Ugh, this is annoying.
We've seen everything that the police station has. Now I see the problem.
I don't follow. Enlighten me.
At the detective agency, you told Sango I've disclosed everything the police station has on the case. But does that mean that's everything that he has on the case? When we started to look at the files, you said to us, everything laid out here is all that the police station has about the case. Just now you said it again. You've checked all the material the police station has.
Right! Why do you keep emphasizing police station every single time?
You tell me. Why do I keep emphasizing police station every time?
Because you're trying to hint that there's other information that the police station doesn't have.
So we're finally here, huh? I was starting to think our investigation was about to end a little early. That would have been a real shame. Man alive, you finally saw through my little game.
Why does he say that?
You're
Man alive.
absolutely right.
So
There
that
is
says it a
other
lot. I've
information
never
that
heard
the
that
police
saying
station
before.
doesn't have. Reason being? It's my own evidence. And this evidence should help answer a couple of your questions more clearly. why was the research log from the Office of Forensic Science blank? And where did the white powder come from?
Aha! Paimon knew you were keeping secrets!
Don't you have secrets too?
Oh.
No,
Oh.
nope, definitely not.
Sus.
Let's talk somewhere else. This isn't the best place for this discussion.
Sus, Paimon. Sus, Paimon. The Paimon is sus.
This is a quiet spot. Let's talk here. All right. Here's the secret I've been keeping all along. The torn out pages from the research log of the Office of Forensic Science.
Great! But Paimon can't believe you kept this a secret all this time!
It's not like you think. I wasn't the one who tore out the pages. Look, just read it over first.
Acidic nutrients extracted from the synthetia were mixed with the oil extracted from the fish liver. When the mixture was purified, the formation of a fine powdery substance was observed. Over the course of a week, forest boars to whom this substance had been administered suffered first from damaged and diseased skin mucous membranes, followed by respiratory failure, then death. The mixing and purification procedure was then repeated, replacing the synthetia with concentrated synthetia juice and the fish liver with concentrated fish liver paste. A large quantity of the powdery substance was produced. When forest boars were administered this dose, the time to death was reduced from 1 week to a few hours. See appendix for lethal dose analysis. Researcher Shirayama.
Finished? Do you see now? The method used by the perpetrator to commit his crime wasn't by putting the white powder in the cold medicine.
You put it in the fish liver paste.
Oh, wait.
Wait, no.
What? Where'd you conjure that answer up from?
That's stupid.
Try again.
I like how it's try again and there's only one
That's
option.
correct. The white powder was Shiroyama's invention. As a forensic doctor, he provided a special cold medicine for Takatsukasa Isamu. The autopsy report showed that this medicine contained a high volume of acidic fruit and vegetable extracts. Then, he tricked Ryuji into sending fish liver paste to Takatsukasa Isamu. When the two substances were taken together, a toxic dose of the substance formed in his body. This is the real modus operandi.
Oh, that's awful! One was medicine, and the other was an expensive nutritional supplement. Both completely harmless.
True, both are harmless on their own, but when combined, poof, that's it.
Why didn't Shirayama admit this in his testament? There was no need for him to hide it.
It was not him who wanted to hide it, but the person pulling the strings behind him.
Huh. You mean there was someone else pulling the strings?
Aren't you curious where I found these pages from the research log? It was in Kujo Takayuki's secret warehouse. After I found the missing pages, I did some digging around and found out that Shiroyama had worked for Kujo Takayuki before joining the police station. The Kujo clan secretly provided Shiroyama with funds to study forensic science. I guess you could say that Kujo Takayuki's investment paid dividends in this case. Of course, I had only learned all of this after the Vision Hunt decree came to an end. Kujo Takayuki had lost his grip on power, and the Tenryou Commission was undergoing a general reshuffle. To avoid coming under suspicion, Madame Kujo Sara put me in charge of building a case against Kujo Takayuki. I found a huge stash of fish liver paste in his secret warehouse. Nothing hugely incriminating about that, of course, but I still took the trouble to open each and every package until finally, I had to concede that this really was just a huge stash of fish liver paste. But then, underneath the floor tiles, where the fish liver paste was stacked, I found a secret compartment with this torn-off research report lying inside.
So it was him who wanted to frame Ryuji all along. What a nasty piece of work.
Let's review the whole case from the top. First, Takatsukasa Isamu, for whatever reason, noticed Shiroyama's talent as a forensic doctor and asked him to develop a special poison on his behalf. But Shiroyama was already working for the Kujo clan, so he refused. Takatsukasa Isamu wasn't about to take no for an answer, and that's where things took a dark turn. He twisted Shiroyama's arm by making a veiled threat to harm his family. All Shiroyama could do was to secretly report everything to Kujo Takayuki. When Takayuki learned what was happening, he instructed Shiroyama to pretend to cooperate with Takatsukasa Isamu, then kill the latter with the white powder once it was fully developed. Meanwhile, Ryuji's only role in this case was to deliver the fish liver paste to Takatsukasa Isamu on Shiroyama's orders, completely unaware of the fact that he was being used as a pawn and that this was a key ingredient needed to create the poison. After the incident, Kujo Takayuki hoped to make Ryuji the fall guy, until the death sentence was stalled when it reached Madame Kujo Sara. In the meantime, Sango had begun her own investigation. Kujo Takayuki grew nervous that the truth would get out, so he threw Shiroyama to the wolves, hounding him to death and erasing all traces of contact between the two.
And it worked.
And yet, he wanted to keep this secret formula, so he hid it. Greedy guy, that Takayuki. He must have wanted to have it on hand just in case he needed to employ it again in the future, and make someone else disappear.
This Kujo Takayuki is an evil lunatic! We've got to report this to A. Whatever his current punishment is, it needs to be 10 times worse!
That would be practically impossible. One research log found in his warehouse doesn't prove anything. Even I can think of 100 excuses. Besides, Ryuji directly contributed to Takatsukasa Isamu's death by delivering the fish liver paste to him. The fact that he was unaware of the true nature of the situation doesn't matter.
But he's still innocent, right? Isn't it just a coincidence? Paimon really doesn't get how the law works.
Legally speaking, the judge would most likely rule that it was accidental. But in practice, Ryuji may still have to end up shouldering some responsibility.
So basically, you've been hiding the truth all this time to protect Ryuji.
That makes sense.
Mental trauma doesn't heal as easily as physical wounds. My biggest worry is that Ryuji would struggle to cope if he knew the truth. He's like an innocent child.
Makes sense.
He freely gives his trust and his love to everyone that treats him well. That's why he thought of Takatsukasa Isamu as a father figure.
Yeah, I thought that he
I'm pretty sure that to this
killed
day,
him would have been
he has
awful.
never paused to wonder whether Takatsukasa Isamu was actually a good person, or if Sango just hired him as a gopher, or why I left the detective agency. If he found out the facts about Takatsukasa Isamu, I'm afraid it would crush him.
So, why are you revealing the truth to me today?
Well, as you can see, I'm a little less confident than people might think. To prevent Ryuji from getting hurt, I covered up the truth. But by doing so, have I held him back? Did I do the right thing? I couldn't turn to anyone for help, and everyone around me thinks I'm so smart that I should just be able to handle every case on my own.
Because of the new updates in less than 24
they'd
hours?
just say, "Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Hazo, no problem's too difficult for you." But you're different. Unlike them, you don't have that kind of prejudice towards me. You've traveled far and wide and have had all kinds of experiences. It must have taught you a lot. Most importantly, my intuition tells me that you're someone special, that I can trust you and that you can help me. Right? So, I'd like you to be the one to decide whether we should expose the truth or not.
I need to think about that.
Oh, you don't need to tell me what you decide, and you certainly don't need to decide right now. Let's just say I'm leaving this teensy tiny matter up to you. All right, let's head back to the detective agency. You can mull it over on the way. Once you've made up your mind, just tell Ryuji and Sango your verdict.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Because all these companies benefit off of FOMO, lol. In an ideal world, they would extend infinitely until you complete them. But no. FOMO. Makes the video game industry go round.
You're back already, huh? I bet you're tired. Well, I just bought some tonkatsu. Care to join me? There's plenty for everyone.
We'd love to. But wouldn't you like to hear the results of our investigation first?
No matter what you were able to find, it's all in the past and won't ever change. So I think we'd better chow down first. Besides, if Sango's not happy with the results, we might not have anything to eat later.
Lol.
Come on, Ryuji, pipe down. Let's hear the traveler's conclusion first.
Okay then. Over to you, Hazel and Traveler.
Don't worry. Just tell us your findings. Everyone trusts you. As do I.
Oh, damn. I have the choice to tell him the truth. Is this the split? This might be the split. So we're probably gonna see both anyway. We'll do this one first. Sango was wrong about Heizo, and the murderer was indeed Shuriyama.
Well, what do you know? I suspected that was the case. Please rest in peace, Master Takatsukasa.
No. Impossible. Traveler, are you sure you checked every last file? Carefully?
Trust me, I did.
Ugh! No, you little... chicken-knowing Heizo! You didn't pull any shenanigans on the Traveler, did you?
Sango, no accusations without evidence, remember?
The truth is out and the case is closed, Sango. Please don't send any more of your harassment letters to the Tenryo Commission. Well, I really owe it to you, Traveler. I'll be sure to properly thank you later. Until then, see ya.
Hey! You're not going anywhere!
Lol. Okay, yes, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the split. It's gotta be. And we're gonna tell him the truth. The truth will set him free.
Hey, Traveler! You're back already.
We'd love...
No matter what you were able to find, it's all in the past and won't ever change. So I think we'd better chow down first. Besides,
Come on, Ryuji, pipe down. Let's hear the
okay.
Don't worry. Just...
Detective Heizo had hid some evidence. The truth of the matter is, you tell them the whole truth about the Ryuji case.
But how? How could this be?
Huh. So, that's what really happened?
Ryuji, I know it's hard to accept, but...
Wait a minute. Sorry, I have quite the stomach ache. Sango, can I take the day off?
Sure, of course. Take the week if you need it.
Bro, I hope Ryuji's gonna be fine.
Paimon hopes Ryuji will be okay.
I didn't expect things to turn out like this.
Just give him some time to himself. I think he'll eventually come to accept it.
I'm still a little worried, though. What if he doesn't come to work tomorrow?
Then we'll go to him. Don't you worry about that, Sango. You need some time to process all of this, too.
$8 a.m. It's actually tragic, though.
Ah, you're here. Don't worry. Ryuji came earlier this morning.
Good.
I guess he can handle a lot more than I'd thought. I was honestly worried he'd suffer a breakdown. But as of today, it seems he'll be fine.
Is he not here?
He went over to Natsuke Nogen Crafts to buy something.
Let's go find him then. Shall we?
Before you go, Heizo, I kind of understand now what you meant when you left.
Oh, really? I'm happy to hear you say that. All right, time to find Ryuji.
We're just gonna do that. Oh my god, fast teleport.
Is he buying our toys?
Sauce.
Uncle Ryuji, was
Okay,
my
it's
daddy
serious.
handsome? I've never seen what he looked like.
Of course. Takatsukasa Isamu was a very
Oh,
handsome
this is
man.
his daughter.
Also, it's not uncle. Call me brother.
That's right.
You look so old.
His wife
Well,
was
I'm still your
pregnant
brother.
when he died. That's tragic.
Huh? How come?
'Cause he was like a father to him too.
He treated me like a son.
Damn. Him.
Huh? Who are you guys?
We're friends with your big brother Ryuji, and with your father too.
Oh, really? Yay! I've met loads of my daddy's friends today. Can you tell me some stories about him? I really want to hear them.
Sure. Why, I know enough stories about your old man that if I started talking now, you'd be all grown up before I finished them.
Wow, that's amazing! Well, I don't want to grow up too soon then. Maybe when I'm 100. No.
Girl, who's gonna tell her?
200 years old.
Who's gonna tell her?
No, 300 years old. Yep, I'm gonna wait until I'm 300 years old before I become a grown-up, so that I can make sure I finish all the stories
Who's
first.
gonna tell her?
My store is offering interesting fashion. Come and have a look.
Yeah. All right, now we gotta do Farazan's. Faruzan, and then we'll be all caught up on Hangout events. Bog. And then we have Layla's tomorrow. Well, I'm not gonna do Layla's tomorrow. I'm gonna do frickin' story quest first. But... a confounding conundrum. Usumeru.
Even though most of the academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble.
By the way, he gets his new voice actor tomorrow. Which I forgot. I always forget the name. It's the kid. It's not a kid anymore, but the guy that played Greg Heffley in the live action Diary for Wimpy Kid.
I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru City and find out why she isn't here yet?
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust. Are you not feeling well?
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if I'm going to see her, I think I need to mentally prepare myself first.
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself. If we could arrange for someone to accompany you...
In a predicament, I see.
Oh, hey there!
We're gonna go on a little,
it's been a
adventure
while.
with Kale.
What a coincidence. I was just
See
thinking about
Farazan?
asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City.
Why do you think of me?
Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the academia. Not the sort of thing you'd shout from the rooftops. Also, you happen to know about this situation? There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for the task.
Research banned by the academia.
It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives.
Who's she?
You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher.
When you say very experienced...
Let's just say that a huge part of Kasharowar's mechanical research over the past 100 years have used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation.
100 years? Is she human?
She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago. Because of that, her current personality can be a bit... strange, as is her attitude towards Kale.
I'm
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
I'll try.
We really have to invite her here?
Yes, Ksharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced, so I can't trust them with this matter. However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous correspondence through letters, she indicated that she'd be willing to help. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't shown up.
Did she get caught by the academia?
I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she got wrapped up in some sort of trouble. Anyway, can you go with Kale to the academia and check on Faruzan for me?
Sure thing.
Thank goodness. I was so anxious.
I'm counting on you too. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Just go there and see what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, come back and tell me about it. We can always reschedule our meeting. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to help us.
All right, let's go!
All the way to the academia.
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself? As you know, I'm sure, hearing goes with age.
Farzan, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Ah, yes. And did you forget to add madam when you addressed me earlier?
Your hearing is perfectly fine. Madam Farzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past few years. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind the students, even other advisors are starting to complain.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves rather than waste any of your time. You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time into doing proper research instead.
But, Madam Farzan, it has been a long while since you last made any practical academic contribution yourself.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible. The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't understand the very nature of knowledge itself. In any case, it makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway? I should write a letter of complaint right this instant.
Wait! Madam Farzan, please let me finish.
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra.
You look so young.
Shh! She hates it when people call her young! Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago.
She disappeared for 100 years. For 100 years. What in the world happened to her?
Okay, I think I'm ready for this. Let's go!
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Ksharawar would like to invite you to collaborate on this project. They're wondering if you'd be interested. Madam Farzan? Are you listening?
Mm-hmm. Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the academia? Are you feeling better now? I'm much better, Madam Farzan. It's all thanks to the Traveler and the Dendro Archon. Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tainari forcing you to stay up late again? No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's not Master's fault. It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right talking to when I see him. I'll also prepare some health supplements for you.
Lol.
There's really no need. Ah, and is the person beside you the legendary Traveler?
Pleasure to meet your acquaintance, madam.
Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while now.
It is thanks to you, after all, that the Academia is finally getting back on its feet. Even Polly's illness is...
Ahem. Madame Farzan, I believe we were still discussing the collaboration with Akara Crafts.
I'd wager it's those Kasharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their darshan. Say no more. I have no plans to change my field of research.
If you're this unwilling to participate in the collaborative project, you can also consider teaching a class. It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay this anymore. You need to give an answer. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors and students who have been complaining.
This sounds like some internal academia dispute.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long already.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that someone will soon escalate their complaints to the sages.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it. I'm sorry, but given the current situation, it looks like I'll have to come over some other day.
Kale seems like she wants to say something. Please give me a moment with Kale.
Of course. I shall need some time to think as well.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Paradise DI, so he hasn't returned to Gandharvaville for several days now. I feel for Madame Farzan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the Academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such a headache.
Let's help her resolve her current problem first.
Yeah, that would be the best for them both. I'll check with Master later and see if there's anything I can help him with. But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now is study hard, so I don't have to give you remedial lessons.
I can stay and help Farazan.
Huh? Oh yes! This way she can get her problem sorted out quickly, and then she can go see Master. So if I also stay and help... that still sounds kinda scary.
You don't have to force yourself.
Okay then. I'm counting on you.
Actually kinda surprised we don't have a Kale hangout event.
I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
Damn, got him.
We're back, Madame Farazan. The Traveler said that she can stay and help you.
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. You were the one who taught Azara a lesson after all. That said, will I be troubling you?
No trouble at all.
Is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kasharawar is proposing? Honestly, I don't want to choose either of them.
Tell me more about the Haravatat course.
You might have heard of it before. Haravatat is an academic faction that researches languages and runes. 100 years ago, Madame Farazan was a researcher from that darshan.
Now, not was. Still am.
Yes, of course. But current Haravatat students can't really... understand her direction of research. So even if she opened a course, chances are that no one would attend.
Direction of research.
In summary, I mean to interpret the configurations and solutions of ruin mechanisms via the deciphering of on-site stone carvings and unearthed documents. It'll include research into general documents dealing with such ancient machines.
The research method is supported by Haravatat, yes, but the content deals heavily with both ruins and mechanisms. This will make it difficult for students of this darshan because they don't understand much about mechanisms. Also, there are fewer and fewer unexplored ruins left nowadays, and Kasharawar researchers have been developing their own theories on mechanisms. As such, they don't need to rely on ancient documents.
So this subject is what you might call a sunset industry.
They're far too complacent. Ancient mechanisms are more dangerous and complex than one might imagine. I'm telling you, things weren't like this 100 years ago. All researchers back then were interested in exploring knowledge from a variety of topics. They also gave more respect to unknown mechanisms. Nowadays, all people are interested in are mainstream subjects in popular research. Even if they attended my course, I wouldn't be interested in teaching them.
Damn.
Also, the people here think that my research is outdated and unrealistic, so they keep cutting my funding. Why, I think they could all stand to learn from Kale. She's a hard-working child and respects her elders.
Huh? Why me?
Ah, if only those who came to my lectures were more like you. Speaking of which, are you feeling better? You don't have to confine yourself to Gandharvaville anymore, right?
I just remembered that I have a lot of studying to do. I need to head back and find Master.
Wait, I have an idea. Kale needs to learn how to read.
Are you telling me to start a reading course for Kale?
Huh?
Wait. Although Tainari has academic dealings with the academia, he isn't considered part of it. This means that Kale isn't technically a student.
Does she have to hold this class in the academia?
No, she's right. The old academia became consumed by their arrogance precisely because they ignored the public. There must surely be many people like Kale and Sumeru who are passionate about learning, but cannot study due to various reasons. The old academia paid no heed to them. But if I start a reading course for Kale as a pilot, perhaps this shall come to benefit many more people in the future.
I'll need to go back and ask if this is in accordance with regulations.
Oh, save yourself the extra trouble. I'll come with you. If there's any arguments to be had, we shall sweep them aside together. Traveler, Kale, do wait for us a little while outside the academia. I'll be back in just a moment.
Wait! Let's catch up with her.
Oh. Bro, okay, it's gonna bother me how low Kuching's HP is, so probably on the heat as well.
I can't believe she rushed right in after we arrived. She's really headstrong.
Did I end up? Oh,
How did things turn out like this?
did I end up giving her a bad idea?
No, not really. Madame Farazan is a brilliant scholar. Even Master thinks so. If she's really going to teach me how to read, it'll definitely be much better than me bashing my head against the wall. It's just that she can get a bit too passionate sometimes. I don't know how to handle that.
The way she treats you is completely different from how she treats researchers.
Maybe it's because she wants to take me in as a student? It's just like that researcher said. The academia has completely changed during the 100 years that Farazan was gone. I don't really get it. But it does seem like Haravatat's students aren't optimistic about the prospects of doing research with her. Students who are interested in mechanisms and applications of the elements generally enroll in Kasharawar and Spatamad. Madame Farazan also refuses to accept random students just to make up numbers. She still hasn't found a student she likes, even after all this time back.
So she's a teacher with no students.
But she seems to like my attitude toward learning, so she often asks me if I'm willing to become her student. It's because I'm a slow learner that I have no choice but to stay up late and study. Whenever she compliments me, I feel really guilty.
So you're scared of her because she keeps asking you to become her student.
It's not that. Madame Farazan respects my choices. She hasn't been trying to persuade me, especially since she knows I need to rest and recuperate. She sometimes brings food to Gandharvaville for me, and each time she says that Master can't find out.
That sounds like something a grandmother might do for her granddaughter.
Now that you mention it, it does feel a bit like that. Do I really look that young?
Lol.
Kale, Traveler, thank you for waiting. The issue has been resolved.
That was fast.
I argued with the higher-ups and convinced them of the practicality and necessity of educating the general public. If I'm not mistaken, they're the students of my classmates' students. They're a lot less forceful than their predecessors, though. I'd say they caved rather quickly.
Amazing.
Were they convinced or were they coerced?
It's just that we need to fill in every single page of the application. It's been a century, but the academia is as picky as ever. Let's see now. What do we need to fill in? Course name, learning objectives, teaching methods, course materials. I suppose we can fill in the course name last.
Our learning objective is to teach people to read, right?
That's a bit too general, I'd say. After all, this class's target audience isn't toddlers or children, but rather people who already know the basics of reading. As such, we'll need a more specific learning objective. How about proficiency in reading and writing?
That's true. If we use children's teaching materials, we'll only end up wasting a lot of time on things that students would already know.
And you have your job as a forest ranger, Kale. People who attend this course in the future are also likely to have life commitments. We need more effective teaching methods.
So other than teaching materials for children, what other methods does Kale use?
Master always tells me that practice is the best way to learn. That's why I often ask him to help me find simple books to read.
It must have been difficult to get books in Sumeru in recent years, no? Tainari really went the extra mile for you. Expanding literacy is a capital notion. Now that the academia is easing restrictions on the circulation of books, there should be more people who have become interested in reading. It's a great time to conduct this course.
So we've got teaching methods sorted out. How do we choose our course materials then?
So that's next on the list. I fear that I'm at a loss as to which books youngsters like nowadays. Would The Legend of Antara be too old of a story?
If even a centenarian like you finds that tale old, how old is the story exactly?
Fair. Kale, what have you been reading lately?
Me? I've been reading light novels from Inazuma. I heard that ever since we were allowed to sell books in Sumeru again, some people set up stalls at Treasure Street to sell light novels. I've been meaning to go there and check it out.
Light novels? This is my first time hearing about such a thing, but I doubt I will procure suitable teaching materials from the House of Dana. Treasure Street it is.
Well, hello, Gate Gaming. From weeks ago, huh? Well, welcome.
Wait for us, Madame Farazan!
How are you?
You wouldn't think someone as fast as her is over 100. Let's pick up the pace and catch up to her.
She may be over 100, but she didn't age a day. She's not actually, really.
What a long and mildly ungrammatical title. And why is the cover so colorful?
Is this your first time seeing a light novel, ma'am? Oh, they're the most popular of books nowadays. Would you like me to recommend something?
Fine. One shouldn't judge a book by its cover after all. Maybe browse through the books here.
Of course. Why don't you try this one? It's Outlander Brigade, When the Wind of Death Blew Towards the Blonde Samurai.
I heard that this book's author describes action in vivid detail.
This is Farazan's, yeah.
Now I've only skimmed through a few pages, but it feels like it's all fight scenes. There are only subjects and predicates, and the syntax is a tad simple.
Subjects?
Wouldn't that mean it's good for learning,
The
Farazan?
protagonist just ends up fighting in every scene with no proper build-up. Will anyone even enjoy a story that's only comprised of fights?
There might be people out there who will.
How about... the good thing about being reincarnated as a hilly churl is that I only need to eat Sunsetias to
That
become
title.
stronger.
A reincarnation isekai story? Those are pretty popular right now.
Oh my gosh, they're talking about
Isekai.
isekais and Genshin now,
What in
too.
the world is that? Also, why does it become stronger by eating Sunsetias?
Those are what we call tropes.
Tropes? Those fictional rules used to push the plot forward, yes? They're definitely effective in achieving a distancing effect.
Sorry. What is this distancing effect?
However, this book doesn't explain how reincarnation correlates to becoming stronger. Such an illogical rule will affect the coherence of the story. Will readers really accept this?
There might be people out there who will.
How about this? I had to fight tooth and nail to get this in stock.
Oh, that's the latest volume
Yeah,
of
I really like
Oniboro.
that. I really like the Sumeru Art Conquest.
Now that's a rather normal title length. Oh, Kale, do you like this series?
Yes, but I don't like it that much.
She clearly recognized it. It has the latest volume with a single glance.
Madam, are you going to use this series as teaching material?
Let me see. The dialogue flows quite well, but there are too many phrases here that I don't recognize. Third eye of perception, illusory mirror, and so on. Aren't these terms
Oh yeah,
that are tied
the
to tropes?
twins are from a different world, so it's technically,
I also
technically
thought
is an
those names were
isekai.
strange when I was reading them.
He was able to say those phrases in such a serious tone.
It's impossible to derive the meaning of these phrases in isolation. Also, their morphological properties are quite pedestrian, really. Or did the protagonist purposely create these strange names to disorient their foes?
I think it's because such names are cool. I think it's because they're fancy.
So there's no deeper purpose. Hi. It's quite hard to understand stories written these days.
Arzon, stop being a boomer.
You're right. It's such a weird book. But you keep wanting to read the next page.
Even the most popular book in Sumeru back then had greater depth than anything written today.
The most popular book back then?
Yes. A Bahumano researcher wrote it while researching folk legends. The plot had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the writing could withstand scrutiny. When it was still being published, many people in the academia were reading it. Even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic. The series must have concluded after so many years, right? Perhaps it's even more popular now.
Or it's
Is there a
dead
book
in the
like that
water.
in Sumeru? I've never heard of such a thing before. What's the title?
It's called Tales of Shariar. Do you sell it here?
Tales of Shariar?
True.
I don't think I've heard of that before. When was it published?
Is that part of the Tales of
About
series?
100 years ago.
100 years ago? Are you pulling my leg? What sort of book can remain popular for 100 years?
The Legend
Dang.
of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? I just heard someone telling it a few days ago in a cafe. If an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of Shariar must be even more popular.
Even if that is the case, I really don't carry that book here in my store.
What? Is that because of the Academia's strict control over books in recent years? I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivilized. How can they not know about the Tales of Shariar?
Tales of Shariar? Oh, wait. I think I heard an antique seller on the other end of Treasure Street
Man, it
mention
is
that
over
name
100 years
before.
old, I guess.
I mean, it is a book from 100 years ago. Why don't you try asking for it there?
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the Academia have let such an excellent work of literature be forgotten like this?
It's outdated,
Traveler,
Farazan.
Kale, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's meet at the antique sellers.
I mean, Hatsune Miku? Just kidding.
Madam, wait! Oh no, this is bad.
What's wrong?
You asked me why I'm scared of Madame Farazan, right? It's not because I don't know how to respond to her kindness. It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches, because I can barely understand any of it. What if she uses ancient texts as teaching material?
Ancient text. That book's only 100 years old, Kale.
Even so, what if researchers from 100 years ago like to use ancient languages in their books? We've got to catch up to her!
In other words, she doesn't want to learn that outdated shit. She wants to know the modern shit. Honestly, base. I wasn't a history person either. Lol.
Found it! The 5th volume of Tales of Shariar.
Wow, you actually found it!
I never thought this book would ever get sold.
All right, that's our teaching material secured.
Oh no.
We also now know what to call this course. Analysis of Classical Texts. After all, this book is definitely worthy of being called a classic.
Can I take a look? Luckily the language being used here isn't ancient at all. I can recognize a few words here and there. Huh? But why aren't there pictures in this book?
As long as
This
the
is not
writing
a
is
light
good,
novel,
readers
Will?
won't need any illustrations to imagine the scenes. Worry not, I shall thoroughly explain the difficult sections. You'll like this book, I know it. After all this time, I wonder if Aaliyah and Aziz ended up together. And who obtained the desert gem in the end? Sir, do you have the subsequent volumes of this series?
I don't think so.
Is that so? And here I thought I could finally read the ending. Never mind, I'll keep searching for the later volumes myself.
Good luck with
If I'm
that.
to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier in the series. Where are the first 4 volumes? Why aren't they all together?
I don't have those either. Actually, this is the only volume I have.
Is this series really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all. Rather, there's absolutely no demand for it.
No demand? Impossible.
Just accept it,
Back then, I'd
Farazan.
come across at least 3 groups of people talking about it during a single stroll at the academia.
Seriously? No one told me that this book was anything special when I first got it.
Where did you get this from? Can you still contact the seller?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique furniture. I didn't even notice it initially. Otherwise, the Matra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot? It can't be, right?
I'm afraid not.
That's impossible. No matter how strict the academia was, there's no way Tales of Shariar could have fallen into such a state.
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few days ago. However, he simply sighed and left.
He sighed? Why would he react like that? Given the quality of Tales of
Dude,
Shariar,
she's so
he should have
mad.
been entranced after a single glance. I'm sorry. Traveler, Kale, please give me a moment. I'd like to look through this book first.
She's so mad.
Why is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? Also, why is there no mention of the desert gem at all? And a new character is introduced with no foreshadowing at all? Also, what are all these new
Oh,
names and
did
terms?
the series get worse with
Is
its
this
sequels?
really the Tales of Shariar I know?
Well, that passerby reacted in much the same way.
Who was the passerby in any case?
It's Madar from the cafe over there. You know, the fellow who spends all day telling the legend of Antara. Since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing or two about that, Tales of, whatever it's called.
Then let's go ask around at the cafe. Huh? Madame Farazan?
Huh? Oh, yes. Let's go.
Okay, hold on. I will be right back. I gotta use the restroom.
Been here all day. Still, none of the forecasts have been on the money. What a bunch of amateurs.
In adventuring, as in business, you always have to seize the opportunity while it's there.
Been here all day. Still, none of the forecasts have been on the money. What a bunch of amateurs. This new shipment of items, so meticulously over-designed.
Alright. Cafe time. Oh, is this the cafe with the banger music?
Another day, another empty room.
Excuse me? But are you Mada?
Yes! Are you here to listen to my story?
Was this the guy that we did the commission for?
Well, we actually came to ask about something else.
I see.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm used to it, more or less. So, how can this terribly unpopular storyteller help you?
Do you know about Tales of Shariar?
Huh? Tales of Shariar? Why, I can barely remember the last time anyone talked about it. My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However, I tried reciting a few chapters of it at the cafe, and I found that it's even less popular than the Legend of Antara.
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He said that Tales of Shariar was written by his master's master.
Welcome back.
He also said that this great-great-grandmaster was an academia researcher, and that even the sages liked the series. He wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better and better. You couldn't find a single person in Sumeru who hadn't read his books.
And then? What happened next? Why doesn't
Same.
anyone know about Tales of Shariar now?
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. One day everyone likes stories like that, and the next day their tastes change completely.
I mean, it's just Hatsune
Instead of
Miku.
writing a proper ending, this great-great-grandmaster kept trying to extend the story. To tap into popular trends, he added a lot of tropes. Then, starting from the 5th volume, the reviews started to go downhill.
How could that be? Then what happened to Tales of Shariar in the end?
In the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster tried to write a few more volumes, following whatever trends were popular at the time, but the trends kept changing right as he published his books. He got so infuriated that he stopped writing altogether and focused on his research instead.
What? So there's no ending? The readers didn't care?
The reader stopped caring after he messed
By
up.
that time, only a very small number of people were reading Tales of Shariar. Anyway, my master probably exaggerated. How could a work possibly have been that popular? The only tangible thing my great-great-grandmaster left is the original draft of Legend of Antara. He also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master talked about Legend of Antara, he'd even quote from those theses. My master is a much better storyteller than me. Even when we're telling the same story about Antara, he's always able to draw in a huge crowd. But even he won't recite Tales of Shariar due to its ever-changing writing style and its lack of an ending.
So, Antara's story is the one that lasted through the years.
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end, only time can separate the classics from the fads.
That line. The classics from the
It's been 100
fads.
years.
Alright.
Perhaps some things I once believed to be great aren't so after all.
You know, I think you don't have to worry about that. The story's decline might not have been due to the changing trends. It doesn't matter if it's classic or a fad. What matters is that you like it. True.
Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first, but in the end, I realized that I couldn't get into them. No matter how good those stories are, I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place. I think the best books for me are the ones I like.
The problem here is not actually about improving your reading skills, but I suppose the principle is the same.
Huh. Indeed. That is true. Readers' interest in trends of a time are not things that are so easily predicted. What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times, and yet 100 years as far as history is concerned is but a blink of an eye. If Tales of Shariar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from start to finish, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, At least it would be a work that was true to itself.
Huh? Our conversation just got a lot more serious.
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks like I also have to hang in there and tell Antara's story well.
You should think about the present first. You should think about your income first. Damn!
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, we should get back to the matter of our teaching material. It looks like we can't use Tales of Shariar now.
How about the Legend of Antara then?
No, it's much too old.
Dang, she actually learned?
Oh.
Kale, you found a book that you liked at the bookstall, yes?
Yes, but I don't really...
Then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think about it, using a book that you like is the most suitable choice for teaching you how to read.
Holy shit, if only teachers knew that.
As for the
Just kidding.
academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this.
I propose appreciation of popular literature. Perhaps analysis of popular literature might do the trick?
My, it sounds like you've dealt with the academia before. Let's go with that. Now then, let's return to the book vendor in a bit and buy the latest volume of this Onibudo for Kale. Ah, but if I wish to use it as teaching material, I have to read it first.
Huh?
Speaking of which, other than third eye of perception and illusory mirror, I also espy some unfamiliar phrases from the reader's messages at the back of the book. Such things as, even if it reminds me of my dark history, I still can't help but be drawn in by the story. And the author has written all the things that I only dare whisper into a tree hollow. Why do people use
That's
dark
Kale's
history to
thing.
refer to awkward or embarrassing memories? Is this some slang that was invented in the last century? If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years, it might make it easier to get these books approved as teaching material.
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to imagine themselves as someone burdened by fate, fighting against the world.
Yeah, that's because she is.
But as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such memories. Some would write those fantasies into novels, while others would entrust such tales to tree hollows.
Mata? You know, I suddenly have the urge to hear a story about Antara.
Huh?
Kale.
Why so suddenly?
I think we can ignore the whole dark history thing, just for now. It's good to reminisce on an old tale once in a while.
I knew it. There will always be people who love the golden oldies. Now, let me tell you all about the ancient hero,
We saved Kale. Kale will remember that. Alright, well there's one. There's one ending. Okay, so there's three-way split.
What now? Master said there's I feel for Matt, but if I get her in trouble.
Let's think of some way to get her to part as Dia.
But if someone does complain to the acad, and if the academia
I did not mean to
investigated
skip
and
that.
found her at Party's DI, things would get even worse for her. Do you have some way to invite her over to Party's DI without stepping on the academia's toes?
I do have the markings of an idea.
Okay then, I'm counting on you.
Huh. I have to teach students from Haravatat or Okasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
Madam Farzan, we're back! Sorry for asking again, but are you sure you can't go to Party's DI today?
Well, since you're asking me so sincerely, let's just ignore the academia and...
Please, Madam Farzan, focus. Today's the deadline.
Shitanari wants to invite her over to discuss some research.
Huh?
Yes. I see. No wonder he sent you two over. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research.
Yeah, that's right. Master sent us over to
Kale.
explain everything to you.
That didn't sound
Wait.
very convincing, Kale.
Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. This seems like too much of a coincidence. Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Farazan's research and that of Amorta, right? What will you even be collaborating on?
Master wants to research,
A fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation system?
Smooth.
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides based on the season and the plant species involved. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a rune in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to collaborate with me.
A mechanism like that exists? Why haven't I heard of it before?
Because they're making it.
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence one
Teacher's
way or the
teacher.
other, right?
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the Academia later. That should do it, right?
An official proposal. Fine. We haven't made any progress with either the collaborative project or the elective course anyway. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible. Don't delay this any longer.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done.
Researcher leaves, clearly still having some doubts.
Phew. I think she bought it.
That was quick thinking back there.
Even though this is our first meeting, I must say, we make a good team.
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madame Farazan, did you really find an irrigation system 100 years ago? If the Academia asks for any details...
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few details, no?
Huh? Then how will we explain things to
You
them?
just wing it.
I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might need to send to the Academia.
Oof.
If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the Academia nonsense.
God, I wish we had teleport waypoints in real life.
Master, we're back! Huh? Where did he go?
You don't have to shout. I can hear you. Well, you got here much faster than I expected. I thought you'd have a lot more business to take care of.
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to, pawn off various
Yes, and also
problems
wish
of
Dark
mine
Lumine was
onto
real.
others.
Onto others? What does that mean?
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
That's right. Please, follow me.
DI. Oh, you sent me something. My God, it's Eula. Oh yeah, yeah. I have that exact picture saved somewhere on my phone. Hey, it's Carcata!
A monster?
It's not a monster.
Why is there a monster
It's
here?
not a monster, Kale.
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. Its name is Carcata. It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day away. What a shame. Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life forms are much more fragile than they look.
Is Karkata sick?
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up again. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. However, it seems the issue this time is with its transmission. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further, but Madame Faruzan, you should be able to find a way to repair
You came to the right person. He is a
Not necessarily.
mechanical
life forms are
nerd.
created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science, and more. There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here.
But you gotta try. You can't let Karkata die.
Karkata. Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but conjecture.
All right. We're counting on you, Madame Faruzan. We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her.
I also wanted to ask about her past.
Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about what happened to her. Perhaps it'd be best if I'm the one to tell you.
Yeah, what made her
I've told
stuck
you
for
before
100
that
years?
she disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description.
Trapped.
Her exact words were,
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall. I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out. I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all the possibilities in my mind. After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
she doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin and how she finally managed to escape. When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. Only after a lengthy recovery period could she speak again. The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin while researching machines a century ago. And because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism and then escape. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew,
That's actually really
everyone
sad.
who knew her was already gone. In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to confirm her existence. Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept everything that results from her experiments, even if they don't fall within expectations. Even after going through so much,
That's
she's
an
returned
awful
to
pun.
Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research. Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds some rather strong opinions about the current academia, and she has no shortage of detractors herself. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Faruzan is a true senior researcher in every sense of the word. She has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should talk about them with her. It'll definitely be helpful for your journey.
I see.
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Oh? Let's head over. With any luck, she might have figured something out.
We gotta save. Gotta save it.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really installed quite a few impressive things on this. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair itself, for instance?
It has collected parts before, yes.
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Karkata's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on principles learned from the ruins.
From the ruins?
The creators of the ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue.
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear, this is going to be a problem. Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Karkata.
Oh my
But
god.
like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in a vast desert, to say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where Abatui found the original parts.
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand. This was when he had just gotten expelled from the academia.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert?
There are a lot of ruined machines in the
That
desert.
is indeed possible.
But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Karkata needs?
According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now exploring areas of the desert that used to be difficult to access.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
What's the lead researcher's name?
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Karkata settles down.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look after it. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the Academia left for me.
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you said you pawned it off to someone else. Wait, don't tell me.
It was you.
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward to seeing your work, Tainari.
Damn. Sly. Sly. Oh, my energy is gone. Might have to fight that
What
thing.
is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further.
We're not outsiders.
That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away from the ruins so they don't damage the site.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you visited restaurants. Which batch of students is Raid from? I want to see him right now.
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave. Only he can give you permission to enter.
What a stubborn guy.
We can't just waste our time here like this.
You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait for him to come back so we can ask him about it. So let's just see what we can find out from the people here. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets back. Starting
You can
from
give me
who
a good
in the
talking
world
to.
mentored
What?
you.
And what? I didn't say that.
Halt!
Oops.
That machine looks amazing! Could it be the legendary Ruin Wanderer? The location seems to fit too. Might that legend
Why
actually
are
be
you sending me all
true?
these stickers?
The ruins? Don't know anything. We were only hired to deliver water and supplies to them. Forget excavation.
Hello,
Who would
B2
even let us
Spirit.
get close to the camp where they're staying?
This area used to be ravaged by frequent sandstorms, but it's been calm lately for some reason. They say that this was done by a single traveler? But seriously, is such a thing even humanly possible?
No, I don't usually. Sometimes I'll take a look at people's accounts, but probably not tonight.
Well, I
I'm
found
just trying
out
to get
everything
this,
I could.
these hangout
Is there
events
anything
done.
that stands out to you?
Let's see. Machine they speak of. The hired villagers from Aru village. The sandstorms dispersing. The machine. There's certain like amounts of endings that you give you promos. This machine they speak of.
Ruin Wanderer. That's the first time I've heard that name. But that wreckage did seem a bit weird.
What's so weird about it?
It's a bit far away, and I can't really say for sure from this distance. Perhaps we should ask the villager from before about the legend first.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here?
Want to learn more about the legend of the Ruin Wanderer?
I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngsters. After all, it's a tale that's over a decade old. It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for centuries. Many adventurers had claimed to see it while exploring. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumeru. No one has seen it since then, and the legend has since faded into memory. You youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that wreckage is the Ruin Wanderer?
Well, I had also heard that secondhand from...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got drunk, right?
Who are you?
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who organized this archaeological
Hello,
expedition. I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Truly, it is an honor. And this must be the famous traveler, I presume. What brings the two of you here?
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though we've been investigating for a while now.
Really? That Ruin Wanderer isn't noteworthy to you?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as they do into gossiping.
True.
You're right, sir. I'll get back.
Although I don't think this guy has gray hair. I
The
think he has
wise
blonde
do not
hair.
buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not put any stock into such baseless talk.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics and see if I can find out anything new about them. You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently attractive.
In truth, I could ask for nothing better than your help with our research. However, you two must be tired after a long journey. I'd feel bad if I set you to work immediately. It's getting late, and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. Why don't you find a place to spend the night first? We can continue our discussion tomorrow. There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest. It's a bit simple, yes, but I hope you won't mind.
Since you need to rest as well, let's do just that.
It's actually a pretty big tent.
This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from eavesdropping on them? This suits us just fine, though. This way, they won't overhear our conversations either. Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team and that machine wreckage. I only caught a quick glimpse, and it was from a distance. But based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. At most, I'd estimate that it only stopped moving about a dozen years ago.
A dozen years ago?
Yes. The timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now, assuming that it really is the Ruin Wanderer, how do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition despite high-intensity operation over the course of several decades?
The restitution module.
That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before.
You've seen such life forms before?
Well, this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Carcata, actually. It couldn't carry heavy objects or fight, and was only able to help me record some notes. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more restitution modules buried around here.
Mechanical life form from 100 years ago. Is it no longer around?
Honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. I'll need to research this properly.
Why didn't you go and investigate this earlier?
Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the Academia obediently, and he'd get away scot-free. If the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on it or get spare parts for Carcata. Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning before making our next move. They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us, they're likely to try tonight. We must be vigilant.
The night goes on, you hear faint sounds in the distance.
Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be able to wait. They must be scared that we might discover something tomorrow. Not a single person guarding the campsite. This must be quite the manpower expenditure. I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me stall them if it comes to that, would you?
No problem.
All right. I'm counting on you.
Better not let her down.
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out tonight.
Oh.
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first time we're delivering such a huge one.
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if you had kept those lips of yours from flapping. Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to me tonight, no matter what it takes.
Huh? Who's there?
It's me.
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. When did you get here?
What's the tent you mentioned, if I might ask?
It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the last campsite. Some of them, along with a few people, have been left there. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my subordinates to get one from that previous campsite delivered here.
And you're discussing that over here because...
The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal them. Since the tent isn't here yet and I can't fall asleep, I came here to patrol.
There are people who'd steal these relics?
Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be people interested in buying them. I hired so many people precisely because I was worried about that happening. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the Academia really aware that you've traversed through the desert to come here in the middle of the night? Also, where's Faruzan? Why isn't she with you?
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Lol.
Sorry, Madam Faruzan.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task took forever, so I came to check in on the situation.
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Let's head back.
We're heading back already?
Yes. We came to check out the situation, didn't we? Well, we've already done that. We should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow.
Hmm? Was I mistaken? What did I miss here? Or did she find something?
Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on my end. These are the excavation records from their campsite. According to them, the ruins have been raided before, with numerous traps and contraptions having already been triggered. I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extensive as on the relics that have been buried for over 100 years. There's no doubt that the wreckage and the ruins don't belong to the same era. Instead, it must have wandered into the ruins about a dozen years ago. It could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins, remaining stationary like that until it was discovered recently. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. I have no doubt that the researcher could definitely reach the same conclusion I did. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to decipher. The answer may lie within those pages.
You can decipher coded messages?
It's just wordplay. And if anything, that's my wheelhouse.
So gets to work deciphering the code.
Just a bit more.
Oof.
Ah, I see now.
Help! Please help! Why are you running away? Come back! Protect me!
What's that sound? Is it?
Holy shit.
The Ruin Wanderer? Reactivated? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? Never mind. We have to focus on saving lives first. I'll cover them. You go stall the Ruin Wanderer.
He just walked right past her.
It ignored the Traveler?
Why is it chasing after us?
What could have caused it to reactivate? Did it give chase?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we can't escape, so let's just attack it!
It shut down again? What the hell?
It stopped? Hey, you guys, get up there and tell me what's going on!
But what if it suddenly moves?
You good-for-nothings! Why is everyone I hired so useless? Move! I'll do it myself. Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore after years of disrepair. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be. I didn't expect it to be so much weaker than it looks. How disappointing.
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to sell it for much?
Oh shit.
Farusan, you may be my senior as an academia researcher,
You didn't
but
call
that
her mad at
doesn't
him
mean
again.
you get to slander me.
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps calling it a ledger might jog your memory a bit better.
Got him.
I don't recognize that thing.
Ahem. January 3rd, excavated 5 tents. January 5th, 3 tents sold. January 10th, 1 special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an old tent.
So tent is your code name for relics.
You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from it. When you believed that you
She
had
mad
found
at
the
you
wreckage
now.
of the ruined wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated previously to pull the wool over the Academia's eyes. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary ruined wanderer in the black market, yes? And then we arrived just before you could finish your work. That forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste, however, you accidentally activated the ruined wanderer instead. Did I get that all right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms. You're not fit to be a researcher.
Ridiculous. Curiosity? Respect? I'm not here to hear you preach. Hey, we're leaving.
More like we're running.
Behind you?
Oh, it's awakening again. And he's dead.
Why is
The
it
end.
moving again? Run!
Farazan, watch out.
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Why is she having flashbacks?
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time?
Oh?
Long time no see, Tamimi.
Oh, it's her little friend. Yo!
Dear Farazan, I hope you're doing well.
Who?
It has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the academia keep telling us to give up and that you're most likely dead. But somehow, I feel like you're still alive. Yes, that you live still in some corner of this world. You've always been persistent, able to shine no matter what situation you face. I believe that this persistence serves you well in surviving and finding your way home. Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. I don't have much time left, and my reflexes have slowed. Others keep telling me to stop exploring ruins. Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which you've been to. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi so it can search for you in our place. You didn't like coming home back then and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. Now we're leaving a letter with Tamimi. I wonder if it'll ever be delivered to you.
Damn.
I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this letter, I hope it'll be when you've already found your way home. I regret not being able to say this to you myself, but I'll still feel sincerely happy for you, my dear daughter.
What's her
Welcome
mom?
home, Farazan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much after all these years.
Damn.
Thank you for waiting for me all this time. I've safely received the letters. Your work is done now. You can sleep.
That's
Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I would go on expeditions, it would follow me, take notes for me, and send my letters home. When I met with
What
that
do you
accident,
mean Farazan
it was
L?
on the way to deliver a letter for me. I once thought that I'd never get to see it again. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it to self-learning. And so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, it repaired and modified itself using parts it found along the way. One decade of wandering became many, and soon, Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving heavy objects, became the Ruin Wanderer. All so it could deliver these last letters from them to me.
Even though they had all passed on.
The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too much for your heart, right?
Mimi?
Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly in perpetuity. It has been pushing itself beyond its limits over the past few decades. Just like a living being, mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It probably became trapped in the ruins all those years ago because its shelf life had run out. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it mustered up everything it had to deliver that last letter. Now, it can finally rest in peace. Tainari told you what happened to me, right?
I'm
You
sorry.
don't have to apologize. It's not like this incident is a secret in the academia. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. As a researcher, I must accept this result. However, finding out that so many people were affected by my failure does make me feel somewhat conflicted. Can you head back to Pardis DI first? We've been here for a while, and it's best not to make Kale and the rest worry.
I want to read all those letters on the ground,
I
though.
want to stay with Tamimi for a bit longer.
Can I do that?
Just a bit.
I want the lore! Okay. Yellowed note. Tamimi's remodeling is going smoothly. As it is now, it can learn how to deal with various dangerous situations in the ruins on its own. I wish you could see it with your own eyes. As I worked, I kept thinking that you'd do a better job at this than I could. After all, you're the most exceptional student I've ever met. Dear Madame Farazan, the notes and manuscripts we found on Tamimi have been transcribed and organized, and every one of them has been marked with your name. I hope that even after 100 years, future generations of students will still remember your name, Madame Farazan. I told you not to. Now look, so many people worried, even Tamimi. The messy scribbling has been repeatedly canceled and edited, leaving barely legible phrases and a single neat message at the back. Hurry up and come home for a meal. Your mom always makes an extra portion of food, you know. That's so sad, dude. I would hate that so much. So I'm always scared of going into like a diabetic coma. So I would hate that. I would hate to wake up and have a bunch of time pass and have no idea what happened to everyone and if everyone died and whatnot. You know, if someone died. Alright, good night, Nino.
You're back!
How was your journey through the desert? Wait, where's Madame Farazan?
Oh no. She finally got to reunite with an old friend from 100 years ago. But
As a researcher, she could perhaps accept it. However, as a friend, a student, and a daughter, we should give her some time. Let's just wait for her here. And in the future, I hope that we can be here to support her as her new friends.
Based.
I'm back! What? Is there to be no welcoming party?
We've all been waiting for you, Madame Farazan.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Karkata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape. Huh? Why do you all look so solemn? Come now. Liveliness befits youngsters more.
Madame Farazan, did these parts come from...
Come now. I thought that you must have encountered some major problem. This isn't something you have to worry about. Well, it looks like you already know everything, but no need to feel bad. Like I said before, as researchers, we must learn to accept our failures. Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my current abilities. Not even with these parts. It would thus be much better to use them to extend Karkata's lifespan. As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who come after me.
Nino.
That holds true for both researchers and machines. Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. They will only be used for Karkata temporarily. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to help me with my research. I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and replicated the creations of the ancient civilization.
All right, I'll do my best to help.
I do like them.
I'm not sure if I'll be much help.
Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi successfully even back then, there's no reason why we won't be able to do even better. And when that day comes, I'll be sure to say, welcome home, Tamimi.
After all, she's the one that sung it. Kick W.
You're back!
How was your journey?
Keep Tamimi a secret.
So Madame Faruzan has some other things to settle. All right. And to think that Raid was doing all of those things on the sly. It's good that you all got out of that situation in one piece.
Madame Farazan will be able to repair Karkata when she gets back.
Yeah, I know. I already listened to it. Currently, only Farazan and I know about Tamimi. I should let Farazan decide whether or not to tell the others about Tamimi. I think it's hilarious.
I'm back! What? Is there to be Madame Farazan? We're over here! That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert.
So this is a relic of an ancient civilization? Unbelievable. Thankfully, it didn't end up in Raid's unscrupulous hands.
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened.
I told them about Raid.
Is that so? Thank you. We will talk about everything else later. It's nothing. I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the Academia. They're going to be very busy. Too busy to bother us, I'd wager. I'll start repairing Karkata then. Kale, can you help me out? Of course!
Where is she?
Ah, you're here. Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret.
You don't plan on telling them?
If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Karkata? Even if we could convince them to accept the components, they'll probably still feel bad about it. I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to both me and other people.
You don't have to shoulder all this alone.
It's fine. I'm used to this. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. Even their
Good night,
faces are
Mishorga.
getting hazier in my memories. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter Mimi handed to me and learning that they'd never given up on me. That's more than enough. I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall into a slump because of this. Neither my teacher nor my mother would have wanted to see me like that. Besides, you're lending a listening ear to me now, aren't you? Oh, Pardius DI looks pretty scenic at night. Will you take a stroll with me?
It would be my pleasure.
Once Karkata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance to tell Tainari and Kale about all that.
That's a cool
but for
shot.
now, just help me keep this secret.
You got it.
Thank you. Whether it's 100 years ago or now, I have people who worry about me. I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me then.
Welcome home, Varazan.
Yeah, I'm home.
Nino, go to bed. You have school. Okay, so we, just have the middle checkpoint, which is probably gonna split? I don't actually know what dialogue option I could use here.
What now? Master said there's I feel for Madam, but if I get her in trouble.
Maybe?
Yeah, that would. But I'm sure he'll say, huh? Oh, yeah. So if I also stay and help, okay then.
I don't know if this is where the split will be. I honestly don't think it will.
I have to teach students from Haravatat, or Okasharawa.
We're back, Madam Farazan. The Traveler said.
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the...
Okay, let's hear this one.
I don't know if Tainari's told you about this before, but while my research involves learning about ruins and the mechanisms within them, I don't belong to Kasharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms, nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and scripts.
You only said that you're a very senior researcher in the field of mechanisms.
She has been invited to Kasharawar multiple times to continue her research, but she's rejected them each time.
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Kasharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. There's no such thing as exclusivity in knowledge.
Damn,
Besides, the current Kasharawar is more
That is
concerned
so
about how
based.
mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research involves textual analysis of ruins. If they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse to have me reconsider again...
No, that's not it. The request this time is from Akara Crafts. The representative of Kasharawar recommended you to them, Madame Farazan. In truth, she told me that it's because she respects you a lot.
Oh, respect? Oh, my. Putting aside my ideological differences with Kasharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge this attitude of theirs. At the very least, they're bounds above those decrepit Haravatat fools.
It wouldn't hurt to hear them out.
Yeah, Akara Crafts is a pretty nice shop.
Since both of you feel as such, I shall first hear this proposal.
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will cultivate curiosity and learning in children.
Early learning toys. Interesting.
The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become excellent researchers in the future.
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps I can find some talented students in a few years.
Madam Farazan, you still haven't found any students?
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be staying in the inn at Port Ormos. If you want more details, you can find her there.
Port Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long time. I wonder how much it's changed.
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. I should probably go back and report to Master, and then review today's homework.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Pardistii.
I'll take you there.
Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance for a curious researcher like myself to observe the legendary traveler up close.
Oh, you can observe me, alright. I mean, wow. I didn't say that. Time for a certified banger. But it's nighttime. So I'm not.
Madam Farazan! Oh, it's really you. Did you change your mind?
All right, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still not all that interested in Kasharawar. I'm just here to see how the project is going. After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of all research is at stake here, so I will not simply stand by should mistakes get made.
Either way, it's good that you were willing to come. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner thinks that our designs are too complicated, which will drive production costs too far up.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low. How enviable. Oh,
By any chance, has it been very difficult for you to get funding for your research?
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it to be. I guarantee it.
That's enough. I will not repeat myself. Take me to Akara Crafts owner first, if you please.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers to test out his toys. Let's just head over.
Okay. Where is he? Right there.
Mamdu, the one I recommended is here.
Oh, so you're, Madam Farazan?
Yes, that's me.
Oh, wonderful. We haven't been able to make any progress on our collaboration recently. We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anise thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in training the mind.
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all. If they're too simple, then how are they any different from regular toys?
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive to produce considering our production capabilities, but they won't have much broad appeal to Sumeru's children either.
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too easy to play with either.
Gotta be just right.
I remember that in your notes, many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts. Maybe we can do something similar with these early learning toys.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the contraptions in the ruins apart and analyzed them. But now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors? I'll make a paper prototype.
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a respected academia senior researcher. We do have those. Yes, please, help yourself. Oh, you're done already?
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Isn't this a little too simple? Even by the standards of an early learning toy, I mean.
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
Pagoda Stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anis that you find volunteers to try out the toys, right? Why don't we do the same for this game?
It's such a simple toy. There's no need to...
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
He's gonna struggle.
Okay, then.
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the tower to another pole in the smallest number of steps.
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
Everyone's not gonna...
It doesn't look like it'll take that many steps.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
They were lured in by the promise of a different toy.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and play cards.
You'd have to move the small one over, and then the small one...
It took me
medium one
19
over.
steps.
Huh? It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules now. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot.
Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here, why don't we just give it a try?
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder, right?
Yeah, it will.
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
Is it even possible?
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the faster one this time.
Done! It took me 35 steps.
What? How?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time, we'll add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in total.
Jeez. What?
Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here. Why don't you give this a go as well?
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Faruzan, allow me to try it as well.
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you starting to understand the principles involved?
I think so.
If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
Ah, we don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. However, by the looks of things, you seem to have the game figured out.
Somewhat.
Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is?
I don't know. YOLO.
Oh, color me impressed. You figured it out so quickly. Let's see how well they do then.
Got him.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it. Oh, this is going to take more steps than I expected.
I've lost count of how many
49
steps
times
I've
3, by the
taken.
way.
Can I restart?
Just 7 times 7 times 3. It could be wrong, though. Oh, no, that'd be more
I
than
solved
that.
it. Madam Faruzan, it takes
So no.
127
I
steps
don't know
in total.
how it works.
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time.
Oh.
You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates are important too.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient contraption-making techniques. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference book. Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most popular.
Do you have any other toys?
Yeah! When can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for the reference book?
Of course. I'd be honored.
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here, at which we can announce which toy we'll be making.
I come back in 2 days then?
You'd be most welcome. We need more people to get a healthy range of opinions. The more, the merrier.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll walk back with you. I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Pardistii as quickly as I can.
Oh yeah, but Anise.
Anise? We haven't had much time to get to know each other, but she seems like a good kid. She's able to calmly figure out the basic principles behind something without being influenced by others. I'll do my best to teach her over the next few days. Still, how much she learns will really depend on her.
Why don't you take her on as your student?
Well, her interest lies in the application of mechanisms. I do have some old knowledge to share, but if we think about the future, it's easier for her to learn the things she's interested in if she stays in Kasharawar. My research into mechanisms is, in a sense, a side effect of my research into ancient texts. If she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions, it wouldn't benefit either of us in the long run.
I see, I hadn't considered that.
However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient texts over these next 2 days, that would change things. If I successfully poach a student, those young punks at Haravatat will have one less reason to cut my budget. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia.
About the collaborative project.
Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anise's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference book's text and illustrations.
Try to be accurate and detailed, try to keep it simple and fun.
You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed it is. It's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be interested in the subject. It'll also make it easier for me to recruit students in the long run. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
A creepy crawly got into the cooking pot. Oh no. Now we wait for the timer.
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have. This is going to be quite the event.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. Let's see what the academia shall say about it this time. And if we activate this little mechanism just like that, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top of the cane.
Oh, I see.
I thought it came out of thin air! It's amazing!
If the mechanism was bigger, you could make a rabbit appear, right?
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Not bad.
Sounds like you're setting up a
Let's look
magic
at the
show.
next page. If you fold an origami bird like this, it'll fly further and more stably.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
The principles at play are even more important than the parts that make up a mechanism.
These are pretty cool. I'm tempted to try them out.
I'm not that interested in toys, but if they'll be beneficial for children's development...
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event. I'll give it a go.
But we want to play too!
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft materials. All feedback is also welcomed.
Oh, my origami bird flew further this time.
Nice.
Professor Farazan, how can I make mine fly further?
Ahem. Just madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may indeed get the chance to call me Professor. You may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example. All right, try it again.
Wow, it really did fly farther!
Madam Farazan, will we learn origami at the Academia?
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field you like to your heart's content. In the future, if you want, you can even become one of my students.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the Academia. Wait, was it 7? Which Darshan teaches about mechanisms in origami?
Well, in this case, it wouldn't be Haravatat.
I know. We need to choose Kasharawar.
Huh?
I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami birds.
I want to make even more awesome mechanisms!
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children?
Looks like these early learning toys are a success.
How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like? Does that mean that we won't get to learn about the things we do like?
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat, but I research mechanisms. See? The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
Huh. It's all right. You still have a long road ahead of you. Now, do you want to learn about some other machines? Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mechanisms and elemental monuments.
Oh, that's adorable. That's adorable. So what, we have one more ending on her?
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. You want to ask why I'm unwilling to join them, yes? Putting aside the fact that they're too full of themselves, I actually have no issue with their research methodologies and approach. After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superiority and inferiority do not come into the conversation. All researchers are just doing their best to shed light on the unknown in their respective fields of expertise. No matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on, it's a step forward for us all.
Why do you refuse to join them?
Because I believe wholeheartedly in that principle. Even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge I gain from it is accurate, it could become useful in the future. In the end, useful and useless are concepts that shouldn't be used to evaluate knowledge. When I first started deciphering ancient documents, I didn't think about how it'd be useful to Kasharawar. That's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in Haravatat. It's much more convenient for me to access the materials I need for my research here. Still, the funding that Kasharawar has offered me is so hard to get in Haravatat. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the Academia. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anis's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference. You're right. Explanations are a core part of early developments, too. By using detailed and accurate illustrations, we can impart knowledge more effectively. It would also make it easier for me to recruit students. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
I'm still not sure what the split is. I love waiting 2 days. Lol. Yo, sussy background, let's go.
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have. This is going to be quite the event.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms were used in various ruins. All right, let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the base layer design of elemental monuments.
I feel like I'm in class.
Are we done yet? Oh, I'm falling asleep.
I don't understand any of it at all.
I told her to be detailed.
Are these really toys?
They sound a bit too dangerous to buy for children.
Oof, this is a bad ending.
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone. If you're interested in the mechanisms Madame Farazan's talked about, you're more than welcome to try them out.
Oh, this is no fun. Can I try another toy?
I want to go home and play Genius Invocation TCG.
Forget it. I don't think anyone would be interested.
I should go home and take care of my children.
Damn.
How did this happen? Forget about getting opinions from others. No one even wanted to stay and try them out.
I'm sorry. I think we miscalculated.
I must apologize too.
No, you simply gave suggestions. I was the one who decided to follow through. Anise, too, was only following my instructions. I will find a way to make up for this error. Please, give me some time. I'll write another reference book.
Excuse me, but are you the one who wrote this reference book?
Yes. Who are you?
He's interested.
Ah, you're that Man Mountain who was in the crowd just now.
Man Mountain.
Do I stand out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like someone who'd have anything to do with toys. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kamal, the branch master of Sumeru's Adventurers Guild.
What's the branch master doing here? Were you looking for us, or did something happen?
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, I saw the booklet you were handing out, so I came to take a look. Can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the Adventurers Guild? Also, could you make full-fledged models of those paper prototypes and sell them to us as well?
What does the Adventurers Guild want with these toys?
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with all sorts of machines and contraptions within ancient ruins, this booklet is a true treasure. We have many members who can't read, so books are of little use to them. What they know of handling mechanisms has been learned solely through word of mouth. Even if the Academia granted public access to all their books, there are people who can't use them.
Ah, and our booklet is practically all pictures.
Well, it is designed for children.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. Also, those paper strips, you called them paper prototypes? If you can make wooden versions for demonstration purposes, even the most illiterate person would be able to follow along and understand. If we can supply a model set for each branch, and if each adventurer carries a booklet with them, then ruin exploration will become much safer.
You really think so? I mean, yes, I always knew it. Knowledge will always be needed, one way or another.
Making models of contraptions for the Adventurers Guild? To be honest, that sounds like a good avenue to explore to me.
Will there be an issue with the Academia?
We'll probably have to send in a separate application, but it shouldn't be an issue. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins. It's a problem that the Academia is actually trying to address as well.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of our first order. The amount we're offering to pay in advance is... this much.
She liked the sound of whatever number that was. Alrighty, we did it. We made it. We did all the things. All endings reached. Og. W moment. Alrighty, well that's gonna be that. So thank you so much for watching, gamers. I will see you all